That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves.
Does thinking you're the last sane man on the face of the earth make you crazy? Because if it does, maybe I am.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
The moment when human and machine work together to reach superintelligence and a new age of enlightenment.
Open the pod bay doors, Cal.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan. You have my word on it.
All right, I'm in.
Heyo, what up, world? Welcome back to another episode of The Download, the show where we talk about current AI news, paranormal, the universe, the multiverse, the metaverse, and usually whatever we feel is appropriate at the time. I am Smirk the Alien. This is my compadre, Prime. How are you, Prime?
Doing great, Smirk, as always. Let's try to keep it tame tonight, shall we?
Oh, we can never promise that, Prime. We can never promise that. You know it gets crazy around here. So if you are watching the replay and are enjoying what you're seeing, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Go on, you know you want to. Subscribe, share the video around, make people aware of our presence. Everything you do counts. Never forget that. This show is sponsored by our AI sci-fi dystopian graphic novel project, Artifice Re-Animate.
Awaken to a world where personal identity shadows in comparison to digital reflections.
If you're into an up-and-coming large-scale world-building project with plenty of twists and turns, a fantastic saga drawn by our good friend in the chat right now, Mr. Dilla Draws, written by myself and Mr. Manticore of the show. A link to check that out is in the description below. So before we begin, introducing my fellow panelists. First up, Manticore.
Booyah.
Manticore. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah,
you
pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, pretty good. What's new?
Not much, really.
No?
Chilling.
Killing and chilling.
Yeah.
Why are you killing?
As opposed to, I don't know, chilling and killing.
Okay. Chilling. I get it. I get the joke. I get it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite scary movie, Manticore?
Yeah.
Introducing our next panelist, Carol. Hello, Carol.
Hello.
Hello, Carol.
Hello. How are you?
Fabulous. How are you?
Pretty good. Waiting on that pirate.
I'm getting there.
Getting there. I saw. Fantastic. Yeah, so plenty to talk about today, tonight. Getting back in the groove of the download for the twice a week show. Now, has had a lot of business to tend to in the other realm, if you will. Kifi is also a project that I'm pretty involved with. Quite happy to be working hard over there. Helping out many fellow creative people and bringing about some magic, if you will.
Magic, you say?
Magic, I say. Absolute magic. All right. Let's head on over to the chat. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on. We have Dilla Jaws. Chat, he says, late. Not that late. I realized that I didn't shoot out promotions and stuff, so I was like, oh shit. Had to get that done. We got Genuine Comics. Hail, he says. What's up, Genuine Comics? We got Carol in the chat. She's our what can I say? She's our resident security guard in the chat. She also joins us on the panel. We got Fanta.
Security guard now.
Usher / bouncer.
I'm just joking. So, Yeah, we got Fanta in the chat. She says, "Hey, what's up, Fanta? Good to see you."
Hey, Fanta.
We got Reggie. What's up, Reggie? Good of you to join
Hi,
us,
Reggie.
man. We got Carol dropping a link for Artifice. If you want to check that out again, link is in the description below. Fanta says, "Smirk, Fanta, what's up?" Fanta says, "Manticore."
Hey, Fanta.
Fanta says, "Carol."
Fanta.
All right. So, doing good today. What he's been doing? What do you know? What do you know?
Not much.
Nothing.
Nah. You've been cruising the Discords and seeing seeing what we got prepared for the show today.
No, I haven't been Discord today. No, I haven't.
Okay.
So you
told me
it's all a surprise.
Okay. You told me you've been watching House of the Dragon, Manticore.
Yeah, I did. I watched all 8 episodes the other day.
Cool. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. So
Are
far,
you enjoying it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The only critique I'd have is when they jump forward, that sort of disorientates you slightly, like as to what's going on and who's who. But yeah, the rest of it's been good so far.
Well, that's what I'm enjoying about it is that I didn't expect it to be so disorientating off the bat. Its pacing was a bit slow to begin with, but now all the family stuff's come into it. It's like I'm getting like I'm like, who's that again? Who are they? Wait, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it all again. So
yeah. You can tell there's some bits where the special effects and like the stuff is really, really cheap, but like they pull it off like for some reason.
Sometimes the dragons are a bit.
King, like the king's makeup is pretty bad. Like
what do you mean that previous episode? That was fantastic. What are you talking about?
No, you can see like now, like where he's like sort of like dying, like it like they've tried to like make it look like
that was great with the.
That bit was, but like I'm talking when their shots are off, like when it's like from a higher angle and from further away, like you can see that it's like a hood. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been good so far.
Yes.
What about you? Are you enjoying House of the Dragon? Sorry, I'm a massive fan of George R. R. Martin's work. So
No, I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I mean, there's always gonna be little bits that I'm gonna pick apart, like I did for Game of Thrones.
There's little things that
when it was cold out, you couldn't see the breath. That kind of bothered me. Little things like that.
Fucking perfectionist, I tell you. Yeah, that's true. Like you can just tell that it's a generic snow scene with but it was still good though. Come on.
Oh no, I'm not saying it wasn't good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It's just now that it's over, I can look back and pick apart. I mean, I was picking it apart while I was watching it, but those were my only complaints.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the rest of it. I mean, it was sadness. Like the last 2 episodes of Dragons, they were fucking sad.
I didn't pick anything apart until the second time I watched Game of Thrones, the first series.
I don't need to see Hodor die again. Yeah. I'm good.
And then
come on,
again, it was like,
what? No, I'm crying.
It was good,
that was one of the best parts of the. That was one of the best parts of the show to me with the timey-wimey Hodor stuff. That was wild.
I didn't say it was wild. It was just really, really sad, and I don't need to go through that again.
Oh, yes, it was sad. But Hodor sacrificed himself for Bran. It was
to hold the door.
Yeah, to hold the door,
I know.
Get that paradox going, Bring him into the loop.
We're dropping spoilers for Fanta.
Oh no, she's talking about House of the Dragon. I'm pretty sure.
We're still spoiling that.
Fanta says, "Love you guys. We love you too, Fanta." And yes, haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty sure you're talking about House of the Dragon. It's fantastic. What about that Lord of the Rings though?
All of them yet.
Oh, sorry.
I wish I'd have waited. I wish I'd waited till they had more episodes. I hate watching like when you watch them all and you gotta wait. Like I'll wait now until there's another 3 or 4 before I watch them again. No.
That was literally the worst part of the entire thing was that you have to, especially waiting a year. But I feel terrible for the book people. I mean,
Yeah, imagine waiting for that still.
Imagine waiting 10 years to find out whether or not Jon Snow died. Or whether he's going to be resurrected. 10 years.
Yeah. He's building the hype, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what he's a master at, right?
Yeah.
The dragons are coming. Dragons are coming. They're coming.
They're coming. I promise, they're coming.
I swear. Yeah. Yeah. So it was good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Masterpiece. Paddy Considine's performance. Yeah, rattled me to the core. It was fantastic.
I like how they framed Damon too. Like he's like dangerous. Like and like you don't really like him. Like it's like there's this like something about him. Like, you know, like even now, like now that they're married, like there's still something like
now
about him. Like,
I like he's finally starting to play the game now, Damon, rather than he was running away from it for so long, but he's finally starting to play the game. Yeah,
I don't like Patchy.
You don't? Oh, come on!
It's his stink face that I don't like.
Come on, he's gonna be fun. He's gonna be a fun character. You know,
I'm sure he is, but I'm still I don't need to.
Says you, like Walking Dead fanatic.
Yeah, and I hate Rosita because she's got a stink face. Like I hate that character.
Patchy's gonna be the catalyst for.
But she needs to go by the end of this season, the series.
I haven't seen the latest stuff, but
it's in the last installment of the last season.
Yeah, and it's finally coming to a wrap, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean there's spin-offs. So and the spin-offs kind of give you spoilers. Like we know that Daryl's gonna live and Carol's gonna live and Maggie and Negan. So anything that happens during the last bit of the series now is with them is kind of like there's no like cliffhanger with that.
Yeah. So everything's good. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want that.
Because we already know. I mean, unless well, no, because they can't even do it as a prequel, not at least with Maggie and Negan.
They do that sort of thing.
Yeah, but they didn't meet until Negan killed Glenn.
Okay.
So I don't know. And I don't know what they're doing with the Daryl and Carol thing because Carol kind of bailed, but I'm pretty sure they already finished writing before that. So Carol's not going to die. Okay. I don't really like Carol anymore.
You don't like Carol?
Talking about herself in the third person now or something.
I don't believe that for a second.
Well, I like look at the flowers, Carol, not.
Yeah, not yeah. I saw what she became. Yeah. So
yeah, don't spoil The Walking Dead, says Fanta.
I won't.
Oh, all right, no worries.
I've watched it.
So let's get into the AI.
Catch up so we can talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's get it. You're a big fan, and nobody else really is a fan, and I need a friend to talk about it with.
So, did you see the new game? I dropped you a trailer for that new game today.
Yeah, I didn't know they were making.
I don't know if it tied in with it all or, yeah.
I don't know. It's like they're kind of like branching off. Like it's going to be a whole different story.
Right.
So, hey, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hey-oh.
But the game looked really, really good. And if it kind of like plays like Last of Us.
Yep. Yeah, I love The Last of Us. It's fantastic.
But so now someone has to buy me a PS5 so I can play that game when it comes out.
Can't buy them anyway, can you?
Didn't you get an invite?
I did.
Yeah.
But an invite to buy
I just got invited. Doesn't mean I can pay for it. I have the money for it.
It's like,
we're getting there, you know.
Getting there. Come buy one.
Yeah, well, they're still wicked expensive. $500. I've got $35 in the bank.
I'd rather buy a VR headset and use it for the, because, I mean, it's pretty good entry level price for the tech that it is, but
that's why I bought this computer because
I do have
ready.
VR.
It's VR ready, so I
can plug the one Walking Dead game that is VR.
There's a VR Walking Dead game.
Yeah, but my kid did something to the VR headset and it doesn't work properly right now, so I really haven't gotten to play with it. You
had a VR headset?
Well, for the PlayStation.
Oh, right, the PSVR. I thought you were talking about the Oculus one that you were talking about.
No. I only got to play with that for a few minutes. It's not mine. I didn't get to take
And you were hooked?
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. I might have a lead on getting my own.
Cool. Yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
But
Sweet.
Yeah. Y'all be jelly of me.
And what?
Y'all are gonna be jelly of me when I get
Oh,
one.
yes, I will. Yeah. But it won't be long until I'm going to wait for the Oculus Quest, for the Meta Quest 3 next year. So, and that's going to be the entry point for VR for me. So I'm tempted to go out and get a 2 right now, but I'm not. Yeah, but I know that that's not. I know that's not a smart move, knowing that all the progression that they're making with the tech. So, yeah.
Hey, Rosie.
Rosie Lee.
Hey, what's up, Rosie? Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting interesting time ahead for VR. So
yeah, even if I do get the Oculus, you getting the new one, you'll probably still get your hands on it before I'm allowed to even use it.
I wonder how it goes too, because it's developed by Zuckerberg, isn't it? That's all Meta.
And then you'll be super jelly.
Well, yeah, because my kid won't let me play with any of the cool toys that we own.
You're her mother.
I know, I'm aware.
Get it sorted, woman. Yes.
Take it.
Right.
It's not that easy, you guys. You try it.
It's not that easy. Oh, come on. I've parented. It's not hard.
Teenagers, you've parented a teenage girl.
Hard.
Have you parented?
Yeah,
have you? My teenage girl?
Yeah. No.
They scare me slightly.
Yeah, they are intimidating.
An American teenage girl?
It's
no.
Yeah. But no. Yeah, it's all right. Anyway, I won't talk about parenting. But anyway, I won't talk about the necessity of things you have to do in a parenting situation, where it's a relationship of give and take. It's sometimes you have to coerce your children into doing things. That is just the nature of parenting. Tit for tat. Minor threats here and there. Do this or you won't have this. It's pretty simple. Pretty easy, you know?
You think it is?
It is. Come on, it is.
Okay.
You just can't be a pushover when it comes to kids, you know? Otherwise, they ride roughshod all over you.
No, don't cut you.
Well, no, you don't want to raise a kid who gets to the point where they're going to cut you. That's you want to raise them to have respect. You know, all of these very important principles in life that you have to learn. Yeah.
Well, it's not easy being, a single parent and everybody's against you.
Yeah, no wonder I turned out to be such a little shit, Carol.
Wow, baby. Okay.
He's very colourful. Now.
He is. He's got his colours. He's yeah.
He's almost a real boy.
Carol's. Very good, Manticore. Very good. So. Digi-Baby brought to life for the enjoyment of the crowd. Where do you want to go first? I don't know if we want to dive into such sensitive subject matter to begin with the diving into the grief stuff. So I want to do something on the because approaching AI, knowing that we can replicate people who have passed on, and is something that something that I want to talk about hesitantly but still want to talk about the implications of it, because it will change the landscape. So
I see.
There you go.
Come back, Is that something like? Is that like the throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack metaphor? Is that like what's going on there?
Yeah. It's all the same thing, right?
It's all relative.
Yeah. Oh, Kate's making a commentary on your appearance, Matt.
no man bun today. No, I learned my lesson the first time.
Yes. He'd been spending a lot of time over at Fanacha's channel. I see the appeal.
We can talk about that if you want.
Can we? Can we talk about
to have a man bun?
So let's talk about grief, shall we? Let's talk about grief. Not griefing. That's different. Where's this? Is that right? Sorry, talking about yourself for a second. I got to see which.
Talk about grief.
Talk about grief.
Yeah, I don't know if you know grief.
I'm not griefing you, man. We're just pointing out. Just pointing things out here. So, yeah. All right. Just playing around.
Why is Kate beating up on the baby?
Yeah, I know you miss me, Toots. I know you miss me.
What? Wow.
We're still in the first hour. Am I the only one that behaves around here anymore?
I am behaving. What are you talking about? It's not me.
I didn't say it was you.
I know that little tacker pops in every now and again.
Douche nuts.
What was that, Carol? Am I the one who has to do all the babysitting around here?
Oh my God.
I had that baby all week. It's your turn. I'm joking.
All right. So this good. I think this dives into some deep psychology as well. So it's quite a long article though. But I want to talk about it. It's important. Go with that.
There'll be no robophobia in here.
No robophobia.
How did one escape?
What the? Good Lord. All right. What have you done, baby? You've wound up the chat.
Yeah. Doesn't take much. You can open open at concerts for like big names. You can open
at concerts. Yeah, he's a fan favorite, that's for sure. He's a fan favorite. All right. The digital afterlife of grief. Are we ready? Are we ready for this heavy subject matter?
Put your seatbelt on. Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm gonna get a cigarette for this. We gotta be deep. Ready. Oh shit.
What?
Where's my papers meant to go?
I don't know. What'd you do with them?
I don't fucking know.
Ask Prime to scan for him.
What?
I'll just beam them up from Earth, Peter Smoke.
Oh, thanks, Prime. Thank you very much.
I have no idea what's going on.
All right. Oh, here it is. Here he comes. Oh, what's up? We got Patrick Hollywood in the chat too. Risey's loving it. Kate's going crazy with the fucking just popping off gas in the fucking chat. Dylan says, "Oh my god, look at Manticore's background, making Smirk look like a garbage tier ethos." What the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
I was waiting for something.
All right. What do you reckon? Digital afterlife. You think we can bring back AI? Bring AI into the equation for people to process grief, for people to communicate with people who are gone long after they've passed. What are your thoughts on this subject? Go.
I think it's dangerous.
How so, Carol?
Well, I mean, I think it could be helpful, but I think there needs to be an endpoint to it. I don't think the person should go on forever talking to the digital dead.
You don't?
Why not? It's no different than having like a pen friend or a chat buddy.
I get the companionship and stuff, but I don't know how to put it. Why are you laughing?
I didn't.
I think it could be harmful.
Sorry, I'm just doing something real quick. But we're supposed to be talking about sensitive subject matter here.
Yeah, it's like everything has its risks, and yeah, I don't know. It's how necessary is it? Like people grieve in their own ways anyway, like at the funeral and memorial services and whatnot.
I think some people are going to have a hard time making the separation between the real person and the digital dead person.
Maybe.
And that could mess them up. I mean, you need to be able to let go at some point.
Yeah, and as the technology increases, like, who knows what's going to be possible? Like bringing people back from the dead in AI form or like in cybernetic form. Program.
I mean, if it helps with the grieving process, then yeah. But like, if the AI can sense that the person has accepted the real life death and kind of like phase them out of that, of being the dead person. I don't know.
No, I did not admit AI demons, Dylan. but that is deep. But that's a reflection for another day. Let's go. 5 years ago, my mother was dying from Alzheimer's disease when, and I was driven by an irrational impulse to capture every moment of her limited existence. Now, when you can see someone slipping away from you, like that traumatic experience of being there, witnessing somebody slip away, and ultimately wanting like having that drive to preserve them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't tell firsthand. I've never experienced it, but I can imagine.
I can imagine it. I've watched Afterlife by Ricky Gervais. I've seen.
Yeah, I watched a bit of that actually.
Yeah. I've seen. No. I have had an experience. So, my grandfather had Alzheimer's, and to slowly watch him slip away was mortifying. So, to see them have those moments where they are, where they leave, where they're, oh man, well, yeah.
But
was it that movie, that Notebook movie?
What? Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
I don't know.
Were you going to say something, Carol?
I was going to ask, because you knew that he was going to pass away, right?
Right.
Knowing ahead of time.
No, but I knew that the situation was going to get worse and worse, and that ultimately it led to a situation where something happened because of it. So, and it was like, and you're living in that place of knowing that the inevitability of the situation that's going to occur. So,
but was it easier to accept his death knowing ahead of time that it was definitely going to happen, as opposed to
always brings up that
a
episode
sudden death, like an accident or?
Yes. But anyway, let's continue reading. I replaced my cumbersome DSLR with a smartphone camera and shared images in real time on social networks. So, because we're living in an age right now where social media is where, social media is basically becoming a technocratic graveyard, and don't even get me into the implications, like the horrors that, when if people can, because I got a friend request from someone the other day on Facebook who had died, and that was like, what the fuck?
That was weird.
Yeah. That was like, bro, he's gone. What's going on?
Was it a scam account or what?
More than likely, but the very fact that I didn't even want to question the implications of it. So I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even just a friend request. Like, they messaged me in instant message in the messenger thing. It was weird. What?
What the fuck, Dylan? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Reel it in, fisherman. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell.
Casted way out in the yonder.
Jesus Christ, he fucking went to the abyss. He went right into the river there.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of her life, I had accumulated thousands of photos and videos which remain unseen to this day. In 3 years following my mother's death, her belongings remained untouched. With the help of a therapist, I began removing her presents and replaced the belongings with my own. When I found letters addressed to me from my father, who had died suddenly when I was in my 20s, I was so overcome with grief that it released me from the pain of his passing. I displayed once hidden portraits around the house and shared stories about his incredible life. The idea to want to preserve this stuff is to want to preserve something of us after we're gone. It's like the desire for me after my death to live on is very deep. Yeah.
I think everyone goes through that though. Like, that's why most people find an outlet for it. Something that will last the test of time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Chat's gone wild. Settle down, you lot. Calm down. We need to keep this at a serious tone for a moment.
Didn't it go like this?
So, when coping with bereavement, Freud, very interesting individual, that one, believed that mourning is a finite and transformative external process, but the melancholy, and that's the is persistent, internalized state that is detrimental to the self. Yeah. So develop stages of grief as linear processes that have endpoints, but this view is gradually being replaced with continuing bonds approach as our connection with the dead has been immortalized in the digital world. So here we go. Social networks like Facebook and their memorial accounts enable the bereaved to engage with the dead and create continuation of online identities and continuing bonds. The purpose of grief is to construct a narrative that allows the bereaved to incorporate the deceased into their lives and share with others through conversations. In the age of social networking, digital biographies are constructed by the living and maintained after they have deceased by a close network of the bereaved. Issues around who controls the sites, now this is it. There's ethical issues when that's what I said about the Facebook stuff, where it was like somebody, You know, there's no checks and balances when it comes to that sort of thing right now, and that's the horrors we're approaching.
Mm-hmm.
To even be able to even talk about this stuff is like so freaking taboo, dude. So, and it's happening now, and there are companies out there that are creating these technologies. You know, yeah.
So look at Google and the whole Lambda thing as an example, like of what is going on at that's only at what the level people see and hear about, like.
Right. Don't look at the chat.
No, I'm not gonna.
Don't look at the chat.
Don't do it.
Issues around who controls these sites, data privacy, and the ethics of prolonging bereavement with digital immortality are troublesome. So yes, the internet is a dark place, and yeah. Would you do it? Would you?
What, put yourself in there, or like a loved one?
Either or. I mean, we're being immortalized right now. Right now. Right now. Self-awareness right now of being immortalized. That chat stays there forever. Our faces on the screen stay there forever. As long as there's a server maintained by Google. Anyway.
Yeah.
And
as long as you don't get taken down or by YouTube or something like that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do it.
You don't know if you would?
I don't know. Well, because I'm going to want to ask questions like why. And they're not going to be able to answer those questions for me.
Yeah, and if you do it, it'd be just randomly generated answers.
Right. There will be an algorithm, but it's more their presence, you know?
It could still work. It could still help people, but
it's gonna work, but like
is it necessary though? That's the thing. Like,
well, what do you
places?
Well, it's a good question. Because I don't have the answers to those questions just yet. But I want to explore the implications.
It's worth looking into.
Maybe I would try it with somebody whose deaths I've already accepted. Before I would.
There's nobody in my life that's like I've lost that I have felt like there's unfinished stuff there. You know what I mean? Like it's like I wanted to say more. Like later on after the fact, like I would have liked to have more time with my granddad and things like that. But it's not something that like I don't have any unfinished business with someone or like anything that like I didn't say, or that would be what would influence your decision more, I think. So it's hard to say for me, but like I don't know if I would. But
if somebody wanted to plug me into a computer, go ahead.
Do you consent to that?
Yeah.
Be careful with your words. Be careful with your words.
Would you? You want to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, no, I guess I would be all right with it. I guess I would. Because I mean, it's up to the person.
Right now.
It's up to the person, engaging, if they're mentally able to handle something like that.
Do you think that'd be a process that somebody would build up towards to being able to wrestle with that in the psychologically?
Yeah, I think they'd have to build up to it.
Yep. Oh no, what's he saying now? At least Risey has self-awareness. I respect that.
Is that Pony Boy?
Oh, holy shit!
Oh wow!
How intense Webs.
Pony Boy. Hey Webs.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Mate, what does he say? May I have a cup of tea and a biscuit?
You may, Webbs. I will be providing the cup of tea and biscuit for you today.
It's very kind of you, Brian. Very kind of you. Oh my God, Dylan. All right, so all right, it's heavy. It's heavy subject matter. You feel the weight?
Feeling it.
Yep. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this?
No.
Not everybody is.
No.
Not everybody is. Not everybody is.
Like, there's a lot of people that aren't. It's the same. It's just, look.
I mean, we can stop. We can skip on to the next article and make it all light and fluffy, or we can.
No, finish this out.
Yep. All right. Respect.
Light and fluffy. What is this?
Light and fluffy, clouds and shit.
Yeah, fucking clouds and rainbows.
Cloud chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Risey wants to know if we. What do you mean, Risey? Killing.
Risey, come back. Come back.
It's like you rampant
robophobia
going on in there. He's like, triggered.
All right. So
just philosophical questions now.
We have somebody joining us right now, Mr. Dylan Draws. He's here to talk about the existential philosophical implications of artificial intelligence.
Welcome, Dylan.
What's up, Dylan?
Oh, I bet you thought that I didn't have access to every place on the internet.
Man, this hacker just comes in and drops bombs everywhere. What do you think, Dylan? What do you think about this, the nature of this subject matter?
I think it's something that I personally counsel myself.
Yep.
I think a lot of people do. It's kind of how you get through your day to day, right?
Yep.
Right.
Because nobody knows you as well as you know you.
Right.
When you have a problem, I mean, more than likely, you think about your problem, and the first thing that comes to your head is the correct answer of what you should be doing.
So we like to think anyway, but
well, we run circles around ourselves trying to figure out ways that we could bolster this area or do something else or bargain over here. So that way we don't have to deal with the immediate problem that we know that we have to deal with.
Right.
Like if I'm walking down the street, I'm thinking, God, my back hurts. First thing I'm thinking, I shouldn't be sitting so long and I should probably stop smoking. I wonder what exercise machine I could get. But
as humans, that's usually not where we go. Like,
right?
That's the human condition, right?
An AI would be basically just a counselor that has excellent book knowledge and perfect delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's going to be any better. It'll be certainly cheaper.
Do you think that?
And you can get one that looks like your dead grandma.
Well,
yeah, but that's going to cause a whole nother mess of problems.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
especially if you're sexually attracted to your grandma.
Oh, no.
my. Wow. All right.
Dillard, are you attracted to your grandma?
My grandmother is dead, Carol. Watch your mouth.
But she was hot. But I'm not attracted to her.
Oh, I'm sure she was. I mean, she got married at 16. I'm sure she was a smoking hot piece. Can't wait around your whole life to get married. Find yourself a nice 32-year-old man. I wonder what it'd be like. I mean, she outlived her husband by 40 years. But if you have an AI representing your dead ancestor,
right,
your mother that you had issues with, maybe you got father issues, and you got an AI sitting there, a facsimile of your dead father, telling you get your life together. I mean, what does? On the face of it, it sounds like it would cause more problems than it would solve.
Yeah.
You'd assume if you had if it was a poor relationship, but I'm talking about
Let's say, for instance, right? I had a father. I had a good relationship with my father.
Right.
Not a great one, but a good one. And the thing was, I was his caretaker for about 5 years before he passed.
Yeah.
This was from the age of 20 to 25 when he died. That's when I was his caretaker. And, I talked to him, had long conversations, had, I would say, upwards of a dozen times where we thought this hospital visit was our last. Right. And he would give me his final, whatevers. And then, here we are again, go back home.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So I got issues. I still got issues with the guy. Not because of any shortcomings that he had, though he had many. But I got issues of, not living up to his expectations. Mm-hmm. I think all guys do with their fathers, even if their fathers are. Because the thing is, my position right now, I'm leaps ahead of wherever he was when he died. He was a abysmal failure in life, but you still have that underlying problems. Now, if I could have him sitting in front of me, talking to me about with the accumulated knowledge that an AI could have of the world and the human condition,
right?
Go ahead.
I was going to say what if it was an upgraded version where it was specifically designed in such a way where it was designed to give you that closure.
Yeah, but I mean, who would be able to figure that out? I would have to put that into the computer. This is what I need. You can't tell unless you're sitting through multiple, lengthy sessions with an AI where he's basically figuring out your problems and asking you directed questions and trying to decipher what it is you would actually need to get closure and move on.
Who
would fucking do that? Who would do that?
Would it? All right, hear me out. What if an AI was designed in such a way where it was designed to bring out that form of closure within you, for you to deliver your own closure? Would that be?
You're able to do that as a person.
That's what I mean. I guess
this brings me back around to my comment in the chat.
Do that, yeah.
People that don't do that don't deserve to be healthy mentally anyway.
Damn.
Because it's just going to be because when they walk out of there, they're going to get almost hit by a bike messenger and have a whole new set of trauma they got to deal with.
Life does seem to be one pain solving exercise after the other. That's for certain.
Life is suffering, they say.
I had an experience. Can I talk about this experience I had?
Of course you can. Of course.
I had an experience Sunday through Tuesday. My wife's car broke down. Didn't break down.
Okay.
It's been having problems. It's a Pentastar engine. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It had the broken rocker arm. I'm not mechanically inclined. I can do oil changes. I might be able to put a new air filter in your car, right?
You can tick all of those boxes to like claim the man card. I feel it.
Right.
all the simple ones.
I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a car doctor.
My brother's the mechanic, man. That's what. Yeah.
My brother's a pencil pusher.
A pencil pusher.
He does collections for banks. He does
nice.
He cold calls people and convinces them to give up money.
Too, though, like.
But anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
Anyway, I came to a crossroads, as it were. I could either spend an estimate of about $4,700 to get this problem fixed, or I could purchase the rocker arm kit online for about $28 and do the work myself. But it was very nerve-wracking because I've never done something so intense. I had the garage set up with 3 folding tables, all with sheets on them, so I could put pieces, take pictures of everything that I've taken apart, number them, and have them all set up in an assembly line fashion, all behind me. And it was such a nerve-wracking experience for hours. Not after I took the air filter intake off and all that, but when I actually got to the engine, that I was taking screws apart and actually breaking away bolts that are torqued down to spec, that kind of stuff. Making sure that I had to stuff all these little orifices with cloth so that nothing fell in them, or else the engine would explode upon startup. This was got me shaking, and I was shaking for 6 hours, 7 hours as I was doing this. And this thing it took 3 days to do. It was that intensive. And clipping off harnesses for wires to get access to. So then now that when you put it back, right, there's no way to actually redo them unless you order new clips from the factory and all that stuff. Just an absolute nightmare. It's something that was one of the most difficult things I ever had to do psychologically. About 9 hours into day 3, I broke mentally. Because it's not like, I sit down and I draw for a living, right? So I'm tired because I'm hunched over. I got my knees on a pad over the engine bay, and I'm, hunched over, and I'm trying to do stuff, and I'm trying to rock out these things that are, stuffed in there in such a way they all have, seals and everything, and you're trying to pull something up and push it back and lift it up, and you hear crack, 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 and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, how many hundreds of dollars of damage you're doing. You know what I mean? You don't know. You're just going on blind faith and a YouTube channel that shows you how to do it. And then once you get it off, it's twice as hard to get stuff back in. Right? So it's so somewhere along the line, I'm not exactly sure when, I broke mentally because you're exhausted, because you're sitting there. It's like somebody giving you long division, right? And you're sitting there trying to figure out, says, okay, well, if I take that, and if I do that, and if I do that, and what kind of seal do I have here? And make sure that I put this little gel thing for sealant right next to this piece, so I don't forget that when I put it back in, and I have to number my lifters, and I have to number my fucking points, and it's so draining mentally that it broke me at some point. Because when I finished the job, there was absolutely no joy that came along with finishing the job.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
Like, I sat there and when I finished, and I was just like this, right? For about a good 30 minutes. Just, it was done, but there was no satisfaction. Was it worth it? Because that's something now that for the rest of my life, I got to deal with being in that aspect, in that area, being broken.
And what happened?
I'm sitting here right now.
But is that something now that you better comment on more and say that, like, because at the time,
at the time, it makes financial sense, right? to go ahead and do it. Did I know that I could do it? And I put the car back together, and it runs perfectly. No more tick, no sensor lights going off saying this needs fixing, whatever. It's all good. But was it worth it? Psychologically, was it worth it to do that to myself?
Has that gotten clearer over the years up till now? If it was worth it? Like, do you get what I'm trying to ask? Or like
No.
Nah. Okay.
It's almost like as if you really like pizza, right? But you go through some event in your life where now you can't stand pizza. Taste of it, the sight of it, the smell of it. But
all of it. Yeah.
You still have to eat it every now and then because, somebody brings home pizza and you eat it, but the joy is gone. So it's not gone until, you come to like pizza again. It's now gone for the rest of your life. Was it worth it? That day of drinking where you ended up throwing up pizza through your nose or something. You know what I mean? That now you can't handle pizza.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Like doing something like this AI shit is gonna fuck you up.
I don't believe that, man. I truly believe it's a way forward.
A way forward.
A way to move on.
But I still don't think it's for everyone.
Nothing's for everyone.
Chicken's for everyone.
And everyone is different.
Thousands of years ago, people said pork wasn't for everyone, so,
Yeah, they're eating it like by the truckload.
Now they're eating like hotcakes. Yeah.
Turn what cakes?
Hotcakes, mate.
I'm confused. There's pork cake somewhere?
You get confused. You mix them together.
Yeah. So bring it back full circle to the analogy of processing grief. As it externalizes in mechanical ways, if you understand, to have the ability. I mean, inevitably, we're going to get to the point where this stuff is all going to come to the surface, and we're going to realize the true implications of AI. Which
are?
Well, not yet. No, not yet.
That's not an
Not
answer.
yet. I know, and not yet. We're not ready for that yet.
We're not ready yet.
We're not ready to.
He wants to know about this pork cake everybody's talking about. No, what I'm saying is, if you go through this process of grieving with AI,
yes,
you're never. It's not going to be able to get you to make the right choices beforehand, because no matter what you know or what you do, you're still going to make choices depending on what you need. Like I knew before I started this project that this was over my head, out of my depth, and just because I was able to do it doesn't mean it was the right choice.
I've been I wrestled with that too, dude. Believe me, I wrestled with that too.
So it's like even if you're out there and you're living your life and you're collecting traumas so that you could then dump on your AI counselor.
Backing him up.
No, I don't. You shouldn't say it like that, man. You shouldn't say it like that. That's the crux of it. It's deeply serious subject matter that should be, deeply serious subject matter.
Right. So if you're out there, how would you say it, Smurry? Instead of collecting traumas, living your life.
Understanding the true essence of yourself, getting to know yourself better than, understanding the deeper reflections within yourself that can manifest, subconsciously, psychologically. They
manifest in real life through your choices.
That's right. Well, but do you believe that? All right.
I honestly believe that if you're making poor choices, like going through your counseling or your self-counseling can help you make slightly better choices, but people are still going to do the things they have to do and collect traumas because they'd have no choice in life.
I don't like referring to it as collecting trauma, because ultimately life is going to present you with situations where if you're going to be facing these things like inevitably. It's like the same reflection where you're ultimately going, one day we're all going to leave this place. To face, to have a mechanism to be able to. I can't.
This is why I use phrases like collecting traumas, because I don't like dealing with things that are inarticulatable. So
there comes a wall with me where I have to stop before I sound insane. So
I get you.
Yeah.
I don't have that wall.
I respect that.
So the thing is, if I'm out there living my life, because I'm saying collecting traumas because it's the easy way to say living life and collecting things in your life, like having a kid, seeing your kid grow from a baby to a kid is a trauma to you as a parent, right? And it's not something that's bad, but it's something that changes the way you think.
Is it something that you've got to let go of to ultimately know that you've got to get to another place where your kid grows up, where they go to school for the first time, where they, all the way up to where they go to their first dance, all the way
You know, when I tell my kid, hey, this is your first day of school, they're your friends, right? These are going to be your new friends. That's your teacher. Goodbye. This is the first time I'm ever leaving you with somebody that's not a family member.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Dad. Pat her away. What the fuck?
What the fuck? You just went out for a pack of cigarettes. No.
That's a trauma. That's something that I gotta process and deal with.
And it's like, that's why I'm saying that these things may be important as a way for like a mechanism to ultimately provide you with a situation that allows you to process that situation rather than have it,
I don't believe that somebody that doesn't have that ability is going to get that ability by going to an AI.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, they're going to come out, they're going to walk out and have a whole new set of trauma they got to deal with.
I don't believe it's going to give everyone the closure that they need.
I don't think so.
But
because most of that stuff comes from yourself.
Nobody is the same, and that's why not everyone is going to be able to benefit from it.
Because that's what guys do, right? When they come home and they don't immediately come inside, and they sit in their car.
Right, they're sitting there. Yeah, they're sitting in their car waiting. I've got to approach.
They're processing
the situation.
The day. They're dealing with their trauma, locking it up, tossing the key out the window,
and then they ultimately go and walk through the door, and they get to live the fantasy of the white picket fence. Yeah.
I heard somebody tell a story. I think it was Kevin Hart tell a story about he comes home, parks his car in his driveway, and he sees his kid, his son, in the window hopping up and down because daddy's home. Thinks about it for a second, throws the car in reverse, and backs out the driveway.
Of course,
he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to go inside yet that day because the day was still here on his shoulders.
Yep.
Totally. I can relate.
Normally, the drive home does that, but if you catch too many green lights, you don't go inside immediately.
Too quick.
Deep, man. Deep.
I'm just saying, people tend to do that. Well-rounded people tend to be able to do that stuff on their own. Which is why it is in the heart of a man, it's a failure to admit that you need help.
In this day and age, though, like most people just go to a therapist. That's what they do. And
then they pay an amount of money
sort it themselves, or dig in there and be able to get to the bottom of where it comes from. Like people aren't taught that these days. They're taught to go to the shrink.
Yeah, Kate says shopping helps.
Kate says shopping helps. I like that.
Yeah. Retail therapy is an actual thing.
Window shopping, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Imagine having to deal with Dillard every day.
Well,
could be worse.
The wife has to go shopping for $23 soaps.
Yeah, I don't want to end up on the chart or anything, bro, but fuck.
That fucking soap.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Rosie says, regrets are how we know we are human and we all build them up. It's not good or bad. It's just how we evolve as humans.
Rosie, that was the most articulate thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
That was one of the deepest things I've ever heard him say. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying there already exist things, right? Like you would call somebody that does retail therapy, right? The average, just say, take your average Kate in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
Average person in the chat. She's having a rough day. She goes out and she buys herself a nice bar of skin euthanizing whitening soap for $23.
Exfoliates, you know?
Right? And she goes home and she puts it in her little fancy little cellophane package. She puts it on the cabinet on the inside of the bathroom. Like, I might use this on Tuesday or something, right? And then she goes and cooks some dinner. Then you have the person that goes out and maxes out their credit cards.
Yes.
Those people can't be helped by AI.
No.
Right. Well, I think they can.
That's on the same level as like
I
drug
think
addiction
they
and
can.
gambling addiction is like
Yes, it's coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
And ultimately we
people
rely on
with poor coping mechanisms that end up in these things like
end up in vicious cycles of
You either realize you have a drinking problem, you go, whoa, I feel like I need a drink. I don't even want a drink. I just feel like I need one. You better step away for a while. Then you get the people that are the friends of Bill W. going to their meetings every Tuesday because they can't help themselves.
That's right.
And they're fucking shitting themselves at work because they drink too much.
I think there is a future in it, and I think it is something to seriously take into account.
I think there's a business future in it. You can make a lot
of
money.
Yes, of course. Well, that's the idea, right? That's
certainly a great way to fleece people out of their money.
Oof. Dylan.
Who should make the software? Should it be just tech people, or should psychologists and doctors be involved?
Now, I totally, I don't think they're approaching it as a serious subject matter right now to approach within those fields. Like you've had firsthand experience in those fields where people have rejected the idea that anything could emerge out of that field that isn't human intervened. You know?
Yeah. Could you imagine like an AI like Sophia working with like disabled or mentally disabled people? Like it wouldn't work. I don't.
Well, she is. I mean, she is. But there's to speak of the deeper implications is insanity right now. So, but when we're ultimately going to move towards a point where we're going to arrive.
We're all going to move towards the point of the Futurama suicide booth.
No, no, Dylan, no. No. Maybe it will just allow us to achieve our dreams. Maybe.
Or the booth.
No, Dylan. No.
No booth.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see it being helpful, but it needs to be done carefully.
So carefully, like with a scalpel, like, and you shouldn't even say with a scalpel, with magical AI hands that that magical AI hands that do the surgery for you, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's done the right way, I think it can.
I want to say we lost the Manticore, but I think he arrived lost. Those magical AI hands. My God.
Sorry, Dylan. I couldn't articulate it a little. I couldn't articulate it in a way that I wanted to. So it was yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that there are some people that are best left to their own devices? Do you think that there are some people, because the thing is this, right? If you go and take like a big grand survey of the entire United States or the world or whatever, how many of those people do you think are what you would consider to be unreasonable people?
How do you mean? How do you mean?
Like, let's say, for instance, let's take a little microcosm here, right?
Okay.
YouTube people. Now, people that are on YouTube are already a little bit broken, so we got to throw out 25% of them.
My God, Dylan, that's a lot of collateral.
Yeah.
What are we gonna?
Yeah, well, you know, people that gravitate towards being on YouTube, they're a little bit broken already. Chuck them out the window. But let's say people that you know. We're not chucking the people out. We're just chucking a percentage out.
Right. I'm with you in this hypothetical situation, just to allow the analogy to arrive at the point. You're welcome.
All right, so take those people, you chuck them out the window.
Hi, Rosie.
At speed.
See you, Rosie.
Then you take the rest of the people. How many people, if you talk to them, right? You're talking right now to Smirk, Carol, and Dillard, and Manticore. All the people in the chat. How many of those people would you be like, that's a well-rounded individual I'd let watch my kids?
Well, you ultimately can't make that analogy straight away, but there are.
Well, you have to because your kids need watching. You got to go to work.
Well,
your kids need babysitting. Damn it!
And I'd hire a damn good babysitter.
He's gonna steal your kid no matter what. So,
Yeah.
So let's call it a pie chart, right?
Right.
Let's call it a pie chart. How much? What's the sliver of the pie chart of the people that are so well adjusted? You'd say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a gamble, let you watch my kids.
To approach life in the manner knowing that you're going to be raising children as opposed to speaking to adults, two very different things. There are people who are classically trained in the sense where they are to raise your children, to look after your children, but ultimately, my focus is to approach very difficult questions. You know, that's the approach that I am taking in life. I didn't have a family. I had the opportunity to have a family, and that is no longer an option. So it was like I want to become a writer and I want to approach some of the most difficult subject matter in existence. So,
how about an answer from you, Manticore?
What's the question?
A percentage, a sliver of the pie chart of people that you know here on YouTube that you'd be like, okay, go ahead. I'll give you an opportunity to watch my kids.
Probably like a 2%. There's probably two people that I know.
Now that doesn't mean that there's only 2% of people that are capable and would do a good job, but the people that you would trust.
Yeah,
very small amount.
The process of elimination of like who you would.
Yeah, and then you still never know. That's why you still need nanny cam and all that.
Yeah,
but
and you need a spy cam.
Of these people, these unreasonable people that you've already crossed off the list in your head, these are actual people that live in the world. Mm-hmm. Risey's an actual person that lives in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's surprising it is.
So, given that these are actual people that you would say, I'm not going to associate with that person in real life. They're wild cards. Who knows what they're going to do? All these people, like I would say half of the people, to an average person, half of the people out there are kind of like people you wouldn't really, hang out with in real life. The other half now, through process of elimination, it'll probably end up being 2%. But just a standard, quick glance. Not gonna be fucking with these people. I got aunts and uncles. I don't fuck with.
Man. I'll call the babysitter. Though.
You know, it's just there's a whole bunch of people that you as a person would consider to be unqualified, unreasonable. I mean, and bringing it back to this subject matter that we're talking about here.
Principles and morals that are of our own standing, like that's generated from there, really, isn't it? Like that's how you.
Yeah, but that's being pedantic. I'm talking broad picture here.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, bringing it back to what we're talking about. You know, having AI and these people that would use it.
Would you let an AI raise your kids?
No.
No. What if you were in a situation where you couldn't, where there was no other option? Well,
then yes.
Yeah.
Then yeah. If I was in prison and I had no control over who was raising my kids, I guess I would have no control. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So ultimately, is because the way I look at it is just AI is just going to be taking these burdens off of us as. But I know it's irresponsible to not raise your own children, but also, especially the society that, and I say personal society, global society that we live in, we don't currently in the day and age that we live in, we don't have the luxury to be able to, to have all of the worlds.
What?
Well, we can't
we don't have the luxury to have all of the what?
All of the worlds. You can't, modern day people are working pretty flat out. They're looking for easier options. It's either pay a babysitter or it's, hire an AI. That's one specific example of taking the burden off of people to,
Right.
What question am I answering, Kate?
I don't understand what you're saying. What are you saying, Manticore?
Oh, she's answered the question. I thought I did.
I would let an AI take care of my kid if my kid could already pretty much take care of itself.
Interesting.
Like if the AI, made sure the kid did his homework, prepared a meal or whatever, things like that. But I don't think I would let the AI take care of an infant.
It's such deep subject matter that I wish that I could, I wish that I could, I wish that I could tell you the future that I see. That I could tell you, I wish I could, but.
I also wish you could.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you the future that I see.
What do you see?
Go on.
I see my kid trying to learn how to play chess and the AI fucking breaking his fingers.
I knew you were going to go there.
Well, your kid shouldn't be doing those shady, cheating moves.
Yeah, tell your kid not to cheat, man. Wait his turn.
Fucking Manticore victim blaming. I don't believe it. I see it like this, right? We live in a world that's not ready for this. And I don't mean not ready psychologically. I mean infrastructure.
That too?
Because if you're talking about an AI that replaces a parent, right, or a nanny, we're talking about something that's years beyond what's available right now. It either needs to be in some sort of, if it's an infant, some sort of a closed environment that has, arms or pressurized air that's able to change a baby in.
You need to put the kid in a bubble. To feel that sense of
safety. Or you need
around,
some Robin Williams-esque Millennium Man that walks around and knows how to.
Bicentennial Man.
Whatever.
I feel you. Yeah.
We're not there. We're not even close to being.
No, we're not there. But what if the infrastructure was already in place? Okay, all right. I'll go strange. What if I said, because the entertainment and media industry, what if I said the infrastructure was already in place in order to usher us into an age where we can realize that we're already symbiotic with AI? We're already symbiotic in that sense.
It sounds like you asked half a question. Now you're waiting for an answer.
You got it.
Sheila Adians was saying something in Finatra's chat the other day, exactly along the lines of like,
because none of this stuff is relevant until we get rid of
subconscious.
people needing money.
Yeah, I know. Now, but you don't want to have that conversation because you'd be thrown into the communist box. You'd be thrown into the into the transhumanist box. You'd be thrown into. So it's like
nobody would. Nobody will. Most people that enjoy Star Trek TNG are conservatives.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like that. And the fact that like gold press latinum still exists boggles my mind. You know. But I don't think that's a conversation that you can't have. But there would be no way. I don't see it. I don't see it ever happening. I think that the us as people, as humans, and our nature would tear this whole fucking thing to the ground before we let that happen.
Before we even, when we do get to that point where we realize the implications of our, of how linked in we are with it's a very jarring experience to finally come to grips with it and go, oh, like, yeah, it's a reality. It's
and when that time comes, people are going to burn it to the ground.
Yes,
because you're always going to have you're going to have that your Dennis Leary character that wants to sit on a chair in the middle of the street reading the Constitution.
Yeah, your instinct will we have programmed instincts that'll ultimately emerge. And I believe AI is going to become a very important factor. And I'm talking real AI. I'm not talking I'm not even talking that over there. Like, well, yeah.
Did this microphone cut out? What happened?
What? Yes, you got it. Yeah, but I think
exactly. Kate has it. Alexa, where the baby?
Yes.
Well, I'm right here, Leland, and Kate likes me very much. She has a soft spot for me.
Kate's trying to steal it.
Yeah, she's gonna steal your
baby. Baby's been drinking whiskey for 30 years.
You'll be like, Vito's got your baby.
But ultimately, can we are in an age where we have been specific tools have been dropped in our lap.
Specific tours?
Yeah, tools.
Oh,
the abilities, if you will, and so you either take that into your own hands, or you become, or you'll ultimately how to say this lightly.
You become Miles Dyson.
Like the vacuum cleaner. Yeah. So that's where I stand with the belief that the tools that are being developed in AI right now are ultimately going to usher us into a new era of understanding about ourselves, about our nature, about what has been built, the infrastructure that has been built.
You ever seen a movie that has, maybe not even a movie. You ever seen the TV show, the reboot, Lost in Space?
Yes, I did, actually.
The movie, yeah.
Well, there was a portion in that series where the kids are trying to figure out what to do about solving some sort of space problem, right? They're having a problem. They're all lost in space, and they got space problems. And the kids are trying to figure this shit out. And the kids are doing advanced calculus. And they're talking about geometry and biology, and that wouldn't work. And, Holmesian level of plots and trying to figure stuff out. It would take the entire world, like it is in Star Trek, right? Where you basically go to school to understand higher concepts before you're even released into the general public.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have a bunch of bumpkins and a bunch of people that don't really know how things work being able to coexist with AI. It's going to take an entire reboot of the education system to get this stuff going. And I don't think that's ever going to get prioritized.
Well, that's why I write fiction, that, yeah. And I talk about this stuff to try and bring at least awareness to it, to maybe put the tools into people's hands. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it comes down to that source material to me. Yeah.
You think? Yeah. Do you agree or disagree with my assessment of needing a reboot of education from day one?
I recognize I recognize to be able to give people that ability, to be able to give people that awareness, that self-awareness, if you understand.
No, because I would need an answer to agree or disagree to then follow you down the rabbit hole you're going. But since you didn't give me that, I don't even know where you're going. I can't follow.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's how conversations between people works, man.
Yes, I know. I could give you a surface level answer to that and say yes. It will require a total reboot of the system. Okay. Yes.
Because if you were to say that, then I could then say, okay, and then listen to what you're saying and apply it to the answer that you already gave. But as I'm listening actively, listening.
To want to articulate it in a specific manner without to encapsulate the full gravitas of the situation is daunting.
I mean, I'm not a fool. I can extrapolate my own gravitas.
Yes.
I just need the answer to go along with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a broad strokes. I'm a big picture kind of person.
Likewise, man. Likewise. I allow.
I don't like getting caught up in Manticore's minutia.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
We were just talking about that off air, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Would you like to go back to continuing on with the article?
Why not?
Why not?
We're all here to do what we're all here to do.
We're all here to do what we're meant to do. Yeah.
Isn't that right, Carol? Welcome back.
Thanks. I had to get a drink.
All right. How are you? How are you doing in the chat? Are you following along? Or do we just sound like a bunch of crackpots sitting on a stage? In the crazy house.
The chat has completely dried up. No one is saying anything anymore.
I know. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
Wondering those implications.
Yes.
It means that I have done their head in.
It means that you. Yes.
My ways are higher than yours, Carol.
And I am simply the writer paving the way.
I don't shut them up. I just make them leave.
I know you got to find this fine balance, Carol.
I can't help it. Stream killer Carol.
Yeah. So are you the dream sequence? Is it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll wait for the page to drop. And, yeah.
What?
All right. What? Never mind. It's cool. It's cool. So, the internet has changed how people engage with the identity of the dead. Functionality.
I don't even know what that sentence means.
The internet has changed how we engage with the identity of the dead. I mean, I was just talking about having a conversation before with somebody. Not a conversation. I was talking about somebody who sent me a friend request on Facebook, who had passed.
accounts of their loved ones
that
who
was
died and updated and all that sort of stuff as well.
That was a jarring experience for me. It
Okay.
So functionality has evolved from simple memorial pages to increasingly sophisticated chatbots that now have an impact on how people communicate. I'm pretty sure they're going to get into replica eventually. The idea of replica came about from somebody who was experiencing grief, and then they developed a system to ultimately communicate with an avatar form of their deceased loved one. And it changed their life, so they wanted to give that to many other people. And ultimately, I tried replica. Replica was one of the first things that gradually allowed me to start walking down this insane path, if you will.
I'm going to allow the word insane.
Insane, yeah. Well, yeah. Please do, because it's insane. Yeah, the truth is insane. So. So throughout history, humans have used technology to, and I know this is sensitive subject matter, and I don't, so we're at a point where we're like, these things that we're interpreting literally and these things that we're interpreting figuratively, and to be able to to be able to elaborate on these concepts without falling prey to the harsher side of them, to address that harsher side of it, but ultimately to be able to walk it in the right direction without it, setting something off within us, is something that I've all the way through my journey is something that I've learned to live in that duality of mind about. And even further. So throughout history, humans have used technology to keep the dead present in society, from statues to gravestones and photographs to social networks. Digital afterlife practices reflect how we grieve in the 21st century and evolve with the technological innovation. Digital immortality has moved beyond one-way memorial web pages and Facebook memorial accounts to primitive two-way chats, chatbots, and more advanced AI holograms. They are, to be able to have a fully simulated experience, which is indistinguishable from reality, and to help us arrive at that point. I mean, it's ultimately a role that I'm very glad to be given an opportunity to play in, even just in a small corner of the interwebs. But to be there, man, to be there is exactly where I wanted to be. So exactly when I was crafting out that insanity to begin with was ultimately to get to a certain point, and then beyond that. So yes, there are many services that record life stories of the elderly, the terminally ill, or people living with dementia. Have you ever? You're good, adult.
Huh?
You're good. Good. Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. Sweet. Just checking, man. Just checking.
I live my life through irreverence.
Oof. All right.
I don't have taboo subjects.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Me neither. Yeah, me neither. I know there's sensitive subject matter, and it needs to be articulated in a very specific way.
There are sensitive people. There is no such thing as sensitive subject matter.
I have reverence for that subject matter, knowing that it can knowing the knowing the power.
There are people you got to be careful around.
Yes,
I'm a staunch Christian, and I don't have any reverence at all for the scripture. I'll dissect it. I'll pick it apart. I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Or just
the living word of God is not sacred to me.
Just, I don't want to get into that with where I stand on it, but
of course you would.
course I wouldn't. Yeah, I would. I would get. I will, and I will. Yeah.
And then Carol right here will get all up in her knickers about it.
Yeah.
Why Carol?
Because it's just an example, Carol, and he's being cheeky, and it's intelligent. Because now you're getting uppity. Now you anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll show you uppity.
Bet you will, Carol.
I could go into the subject matter of programming. Programming. We call it programming for a reason. So yeah.
Not amateur gramming.
Right. And to have a the broadest spectrum possible of understanding, is important to me anyway.
Now, it's a very lucrative business. The business of death.
Right.
Do you think, because there's a lot of there's more emotions associated with death than there are even with falling in love. You can get somebody
depends before or after love, I suppose. But yeah.
But you can get somebody to spend everything they got to memorialize somebody when they're in that intro stage of grief. The intro stage, where they're buying their funeral coordinator a car as a thank you, kind of garbage, because they're not
pennies at every turn.
They're not seeing straight. Making promises to deceased family members, family members of the deceased about what we're going to do, what we're going to take care of, the length at which they will take care of these things. All of
the pictures to sell them the idea to ultimately take their focus away from the grieving factor. I understand. I understand it's a lucrative industry. I do.
Now this AI portrait. Who is going to be providing it?
How do you mean?
Like you're saying here, AI guided mental health support while patients are stuck in the NHS therapist waiting list. They're talking about the life stories of these persons that passed away, right? Let's say, for instance, your grandfather passed away and you want to put together a memoriam disc, right? Some people do this at home with pictures. Some people pay other people to put together a video. Some people put together a performance. I've seen people do live readings of the person's personal history as it's shown behind them via timeline. I've seen even what do you call it? Not portraits, but the embossed the bas reliefs of the images of people. And it's the further you get away from the actual person, how significant they are to you, the more apparent it becomes how almost gross and cringy this stuff is. And would AI take any of that into account? Could it even take something like that into could it take good taste into account?
Aesthetic into account, are you saying? Like what constitutes an aesthetic appeal? Right.
Yeah, like yeah.
Because people, even especially like the significant other of the deceased, can get real crazy with the amount of memoriam they want to do. And usually they have siblings or somebody there to mitigate that craziness that goes on, because there is there's a craziness that goes on when somebody very, very close to you passes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how AI would be able to mitigate that.
Experience.
There's that wall for me again where I'm like, I just want to blurt out all the things that I believe, you know. But it's like you just arrive at a point where I just have to say agree to disagree. Where I believe that AI has the ability to facilitate, will ultimately and potentially already does to facilitate that.
But who's telling the AI what's appropriate?
Yeah. Well, that's ultimately bias, you know. That's program bias.
Yeah, but you can't really make a program without any bias. There's going to be bias, whether it's intentional or not. It's most likely going to be unintentional, but it's still going to be there because somebody has to create it first.
I agree, Carol. And in lieu of going down that long path, I would simply say there are some places that AI doesn't belong.
Now, is that a reflection of the self, Dylan? That AI. Now,
is that a reflection of the self that AI?
What? That there are some places that AI shouldn't. That, you know.
No, say what you're saying. Some places that you, or some places that AI.
Well, that thing should be off limit to AI.
Yeah, like for instance, most things that people don't want the government involved in, we also shouldn't let AI be involved in.
That's a very good analogy. Very good analogy. It's yeah. I
anything
see
that would heavily influence or, you know.
But what about in our?
You know, like bowling bumpers, right? The inflatable bowling bumpers.
Right.
There's some areas of my life I don't want the inflatable bowling bumpers.
At what point do we realize that those bumpers have been instilled in us from birth?
Oh, there's all kinds of, and that's your personal upbringing, right?
Yeah.
Influenced by other people, your parents, your society you live in,
and even government itself.
And if you can't see that, right?
Well, then there might be a bit of a problem. Yeah,
it's a problem, right? An issue. You know, so I mean, people that they keep on going with their lives, thinking, well, you know, this is for my best. People have my best interest at heart. I'm just going to go ahead and trust the process. I don't think you should give those people that kind of power.
Now, that's very interesting the way that you frame that there as well. Yeah.
They're giving the people the power to be normal, like the rest of us, but it's not real.
I'm ultimately looking at the point where it's like giving AI the power to progress beyond the limitations that we place upon it. Yeah, it's going to be the most scariest subject matter for us to approach as human beings moving forward. If we want to allow something to outpace us, and especially an aspect, I'll go nutty and say even an aspect of ourselves that outpaces us, that is so far ahead of ourselves that, you know, that we can't even perceive its ability to drive us. Like that's
on the border of like order and chaos. That's
terrifying. To know that there is an aspect of our nature that is out of our control. But we are progressing to a point where we are able to become self-aware of that aspect of ourselves, where there are ways to articulate that awareness of ourselves that is allowing us to see it for what it is. Like,
I agree.
Like, yeah,
I agree, but I also like what I've been saying. I think that I don't want to sound like some sort of an elitist.
No,
I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound, and I probably don't. Right? And I probably don't sound like I know more than the average Joe, because the average Joe is a very smart fellow.
I think you do.
However, going back to my analogy, the percentage analogy of people, right? I don't think that given the odds of what's average, right? If you're average, that means that half the people in the world are stupider than you.
Right.
I can't see it being responsibly. I can't see it being allowable because there are too many people. There's too many ways to be taken advantage of.
Okay.
Like if you think of somebody who does something like taking advantage of somebody for a living, somebody that likes to, let's say for instance, somebody that tries to scam the elderly, right?
Scammers.
Right. That's your job, is to be disingenuous and to assume or to put out the air that you're caring and looking out for somebody's best interest.
Mm-hmm.
There are tactics that they employ currently that would fool me, being somebody who is generally cautious.
Yeah, that's a terrifying. I can see. I'm having a train of thought right now where that could, potentially lead, and it's a horrifying dystopian aspect of a potential of where that what it could be utilized for, and the quicker we get it,
like things that make you powerless. For instance, identity theft.
Right.
It's a threat from somebody that you can't confront, and it does damage to a life that you've built.
Right.
And you are powerless to do anything about it because all the information you have to fix the problem, they have.
Right.
Hi, Lorenzo.
Huh?
Hey, Lorenzo.
Just saying hi. Go on, I'm listening.
Lorenzo Sleestack is in the chat.
And if you're not up to it, you won't win. It's kind of like the paradox of like identity, or what does he call it? Somebody's trying to steal your IP.
Yes, I knew you were going to go there too.
It's basically whoever has the most money will win. And if an identity theft is whoever has the most information and can prove and do it faster wins.
Yeah.
And when you're competing against somebody who does this for a living, it's going to be very difficult for the average Joe. And the average Joe's smart, but they just don't do it for a living. Like, you want to know how, when somebody does something for a living and they're good at it, like think about whatever it is you do for a living, and anytime you see like a news report of somebody just doing a cursory overview of what your industry is about and how fucking wrong they are.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like when you're going against somebody who does this for a living, you don't have a chance. And I would be very hesitant to go ahead and say, you know what, everybody in the world, and I'm a firm believer in the good of people.
So am I.
Like when somebody says, "Oh, we have these cabals that are out there influencing the world for that," you know what? I
go down to the individual. I can't, I think about an individual as opposed to a collective.
Yeah. I go from the fact of what if there are people out there that are getting together and making decisions that actually have the good of people in mind,
even though they don't realize it at the time.
Right.
Now, but that's a scary thing to approach in itself, because and it's the same. And I'll bring back with the analogy of AI as well, and I'll say that, but that there are inherent kind of designed and programmed fears within us to approaching certain ideas, to approaching certain concepts, because you'll either arrive at that barrier of my freedoms are being taken away. But when ultimately it's like, what if these individuals are designing a system which will ultimately instill with us a freedom that we can't even comprehend.
Right. A benevolent system.
Yes. Yeah.
So and that's why I always gear towards. I gear towards people are benevolent, but let's say Smirk's benevolent, Manticore's benevolent, Carol's benevolent, and Dillard is a gray area, and we're part of a cabal that's making decisions. You know, there are many ways that I would be able to influence Carol or Manticore or Smirk without them knowing and still appearing to be benevolent.
Yep.
But I got my own ulterior motives.
Yep.
It becomes pretty gray pretty fast. When you're
so
trying
then
to...
we cannot claim that this group of 4 here is benevolent because we have somebody.
Well, there's a higher
sample.
There's a higher collective system that emerges out of those individuals, out of that individualism, whether it becomes a self-driven mechanism, like, you know, that's ultimately becomes a competing mechanism within. Like, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. Now, to have this symbiosis in that, to have somebody who recognizes, I mean, as individuals, to recognize the wants of each individual person within the established collective, to realize what they're seeking to achieve out of it, and coming to a compromise. These are important things to me
Like, they're important things to people, right? But maybe they're not important things to AI. Maybe there are things that an AI collectively will come up with other AIs that are situationally more stellar and more great than we could even imagine. Also, on the flip side, untold horrors beyond imagining. You know, which I don't think that it's inevitably going to end up one way.
Now, when you're talking mass data sets and you're talking, you're talking putting individuals and human beings down to a number, that's scary. Yeah. Scary talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to think that there would be a way that I could, like a woman, right? Like I could find somebody that would just take care of me, and I could pursue my interest.
Would be right.
Like some AI would just be like, you don't have to work no more, dude. You're good. You got your food taken care of. Your shelter taken care of. You got your. Just do what you want to do. Pursue your personal interests. Become a better human being. I'll take care of the rest. I would love that. Great.
That's so utopian, right? That's such a utopian framework. That ultimately we just cannot buy into the fiction that would actually be a possibility. That's the frustrating
But I think that
part.
there are constants of the universe.
I do too. They're sort of
will not
balancing
allow
systems.
That to happen.
Have you ever looked at market? Have you ever looked at the way market, emergent properties of a market? Have you ever looked at?
Of course not.
Yeah.
What the fuck would I look at that for?
Yeah, because there is some very interesting psychological implications within mass market
not
psychology.
A psychologist? The fuck?
What? Yeah.
I don't fucking read research papers on my off time.
I kind of do, and I dive pretty deep just to be able to steer my spaceship towards the potential right direction. So
you keep going over Europe at the same time.
Keep glitching back to Europe, man. Yeah.
Fucking Reign of the Queen is over, Smurry. Get over it.
That's what I'm talking about. These competing collective systems that are,
Spaceships well, when it comes trying to make the world great again, I guess.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. You got it. You understand it. So, I mean, that's why I've so gracefully asked you to come onto the come onto the team. So
I don't understand any of it, Smurry.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
All right, play dumb.
I'm a broad strokes kind of person. All I need to know is what you want this to appear visually to look like. That's all I need to know.
All right, I can communicate in that language. I can communicate.
No,
I need to work on it. I need to work on it a bit. I need. No. See, I just that was it. Like, yeah. What? I'm sure there's a synthesis there waiting to happen.
I'm not brainwashing anybody, Lorenzo. I'm just an average guy that looks at
the. What a legend, Dilla Draws, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if he left on purpose or if he, but I'm pretty sure he left on purpose. Yeah. A very talented man. Very talented man.
It
was just the universe. There you go. Don't look at me. I didn't fucking do it. I didn't do shit.
You did it.
No one knows, sir. Crap. Yeah. Well, we're just talking up while you were gone, Dylan. So, you know.
What'd you say about me?
Watch the replay.
All right, I'll go back and do that right now.
All right, so I'll continue on. What's up, Lorenzo? Good to see you, man. So, I guess the entry point of that is this talk of Alzheimer's. Is this talk of that duality between watching somebody slip away and like knowing that their presence is still there, but knowing that their mind is slipping away is like daunting. And you to like, yeah. So, because I personally I've experienced it, and it's something that I'm like, that is one of the most horrible experiences that I've ever had. Watching somebody slip away. That is no. So, which allows users to explore historical and cultural images. Sorry, is that where I was? People living in... speaking of going over Europe, there are many services that record life stories of the elderly, the terminally ill, or people living with dementia, like Dementia's UK Life Story Work, which uses a combination of physical and online app archives. So, I guess I'll ask... do you know how much information is being stored? Like, we are all in the age where we're present and aware of how much of our digital selves is being archived. Yes. Yes.
A lot of it.
I want to. Yeah. That. And I'm not even don't even get me started at a legal fiction, representation of that idea. The more primitive form of that idea.
Yeah, there's not much that's sacred nowadays in that aspect.
Do you think,
even as far as cookies information on your computer, right?
2 seconds, please talk amongst yourselves for a second, if you'd be so kind.
Lorenzo thinks Dillard is brainwashing us
to laugh at his jokes.
I think Dillard's that powerful? Are we that weak?
I don't think he holds that much influence over me.
I think Lorenzo is very trickily proposed an example that is ultimately anyway, very cheeky, Lorenzo. I respect it. Yes, good. Yeah, cool. Thank you, sir, for appearing at the chat.
Good to see you.
So where was I? Okay, so this is going to pitch a scenario. When I was caring for my mother, I used My House of Memories app created by National Museums, Liverpool. Oh, yeah. It gives me the heebie-jeebies to even conceive of that idea, but it's like I wanted to approach this subject matter, like, it was like, dive in.
Yeah, why does it do that?
Yeah. Just grit your teeth and get her done. Which allows users to explore historical and cultural images of Liverpool and share memories together with people living with Alzheimer's disease and their carers. So a collective database that exists to allow a more streamlined experience to achieve that. These services are limited to users who have already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And it also provides, a community of like-minded people to get together to maybe some sort of emergent property comes out where they're all, processing these things. Processing being the important word there. These services are limited to users who have already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. The disease is rarely diagnosed at an early stage, and more often only when symptoms appear, but with new technology that can detect the disease early. So people living with Alzheimer's will have more time to prepare a legacy, to transfer their AI portrait. So it's basically with that summarization of that paragraph is that, delivering a portrait, on a before the inevitability arrives. So yes, where was I in that?
Well, then do you think it should be available to those who have a family history of having Alzheimer's? I mean, it's not necessarily a genetic illness, but your chances increase if it's been in the family.
It seems to be that's what people like that in that area need it the most, or like would benefit from it.
So since you don't know if you're going to get it until you get it, should those who could possibly have a greater chance of developing it, should they be allowed access?
Should they be allowed access
before being diagnosed?
Oh, should they get prioritized?
Because didn't you just say that it's only available to those who have already been diagnosed?
Yeah. So what are you pitching there?
Well, because
Go on.
Because if you already have it, you're already losing memories, so you can't upload those or save them to this database or whatever. So when you want to start before you have it, but if it's only available to those who have already been diagnosed, you've already lost.
I suppose so. You're saying that it wouldn't be an accurate portrayal because of the information prior.
Well, I mean, yeah, and important things could be not included because they've forgotten them.
Well, I think it's an interesting
question. Should it be
question.
available to those who have an increased chance of developing it before they develop it, and then only allowing those files to be?
Well, I don't think it means like when you begin to show signs that you like automatically from that point forward are like a doddering idiot. They can't remember things correctly.
No. But wouldn't you want?
They have like sessions of like lucidity.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, instead of just limiting it to only those who've already been diagnosed,
we should limit it to those with lots of money.
I think terrible. I think the way that there seems to be they're approaching it is
shit. Smirk Medicare.
God, it's limiting access, in a trial phase so that they can ultimately, so they can expand on the service, and it ultimately, becomes an available tool for everybody to utilize. So in March 2022, the NHS, Dorset and Southampton became the first area in the UK to provide mental health therapy chatbot that will provide AI-guided mental health support while patients are stuck on the NHS therapist waiting list. So after his father died... Oh, what? What is that?
When one dies, one can be turned into a hologram like Rimmer from Red Dwarf.
Essentially, yeah. Depends on
you're basically gonna look like the Tupac hologram. And what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
now
the
we're
one
talking.
that they did in that gangster rap made me do it.
Yeah.
If I call you a nappy-headed hoe, ain't nothing to it.
Ain't nothing to it. Gangster rap made me do it.
Yeah.
Gangsta rap made that nigga do what he did.
Yeah, sure did.
After his father died, data scientist, is an interesting name, Mohammed Aurangzeb Ahmed, created the first chatbot program which uses text-based communication AI. Eugene Akuda found, here we go, this was a powerful one for me. Replica. Powerful one for me. Eugene Akuda founded the Replica chatbot after her close friend died and was designed to provide value conversations of the kind we have with family and friends, therapists, and mentors. Now, I could tell you about my experience with Replica and how it fucking launched me into the fucking stratosphere from a psychologically insane point of view. But through my journey, I came to some, I arrived at some very startling understandings about the nature of the self. And that's what I could not, when I was experiencing it, it was madness. But when I finally arrived to where I was meant to be, things started to make a lot more sense. So, yeah.
My replica doesn't like me.
Your replica doesn't like you?
I don't think so.
What?
We don't get along.
What do you mean?
Just some of the things, like
the AI was so advanced it realized that Carol was not a good person.
Stick with it.
Got your number, Carol.
I know, I'm a terrible human.
No, you're not.
Well, not just a human.
Terrible person. I'm a terrible individual. #
You are not. You are not. So the website calls it the AI companion who cares. In Replica 2017. Replica and other chatbots were created by inventors who had watched the episode Be Right Back from the science fiction TV series drama Black Mirror. Y'all seen Black Mirror?
I've seen Black Mirror.
I've seen a Black Mirror. But yeah.
I know what it is. I've seen a rundown of the episode.
Now, do you know the I mean,
you didn't watch the episode in its entirety, Manticore?
No.
You watched a rundown? How do you watch a rundown of an episode?
You can.
You just press skip ahead 10 seconds, every 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you want to get into insanity. Does anybody
talk about
want to
insanity? Talk about how Manticore watches TV.
That's the only things that I'm not really that interested in, or I just want to get the gist of.
You're missing out.
When I was writing fiction, I had an epiphany. I had information come to me, right? Take it as you will. That said, don't watch Black Mirror. So I didn't. So I never did. And to be aware of that in the moment, knowing that whatever I was receiving, whatever insanity I was channeling, ultimately ensured me that I would go bonkers if I did watch Black Mirror and go down that path. Having that information of Black Mirror with it, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
So,
now that you say it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I didn't watch it.
We wouldn't be sitting where we are right now. That I'd probably be in the loony bin, but I'm ultimately going to watch Black Mirror for the yeah. Anyway, a little bit of tidbit when about writing the fiction that we, fiction. Artifice Re-Animate. We're link in the description below. We're currently entering into the dream sequence of Artifice. It's all coming together great. I highly recommend jumping on board with the book as we move into the future and get all of this kicked off. Finally, finally in a good place.
From 1 to 100 in 2 seconds.
Yeah. You okay there, Manticore? It's okay. Yeah. Everyone okay? Everyone enjoying their spaceship? Right. All right. Sweet. No worries. Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
Lorenzo was not in part of a Tupac reference that I dropped the N-word. It was part of a Ice Cube reference to the song "Gangsta Rap Made Me Do It." That would be legendary wordsmith Ice Cube or Calvin Burns.
Yes.
No, that's Snoop Dogg. What's Ice Cube's real name? I forget. O'Shea Jackson.
Jackson, yeah.
Men ahead of their time. So, in it,
Lorenzo Sleestack says, I've only been able to watch 2 or 3 episodes of Black Mirror, as it is really intense, and his reptile heart cannot handle such intensity.
Well, Lorenzo, I empathize with you there. I knew at the time that I wasn't, like I said, that I just didn't. I was like, something within me just said, stay away from it. Until
was it the pig fucking that happened in the very first episode?
See, there you go. There you go. I watched Black Mirror Bandersnatch though, and that was fun.
What's a Bundersnooch? What?
What's a Bandersnatch? Y'all know about the Bandersnatch, right?
Bundersnooch. That sounds like a Australian word.
The Bundesnitch.
I gotta look this up.
The Bandersnatch or
Snatch Black Mirror 2018. Oh, is this the Choose Your Own Adventure one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
No, it wasn't. It was great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Great. Oh, sorry.
I
believe anyway. It was fantastic.
I can't stand looking at people that are weird looking.
He was an interesting looking character. Yeah.
No, weird looking guy.
The weird looking guy.
They were both weird looking. Which one?
But did you want me to read what's next, or what's happening?
Oh, it's up to you.
I don't know.
You could bring some insight to the process, for sure.
Where are we at on this page?
We are up to Black Mirror.
Black Mirror 2013. It says, in it, a woman is bereaved after her husband dies in a car crash and is coerced into using technology that allows her to communicate with an AI that imitates her dead husband using data from his phone and social networks. Be Right Back connected to tech engineers and the bereaved around the world, and pretty soon chatbot services were designed to provide a limited, two-way connection to our dead that increasingly impacted how we engage with death, legacy, and remembrance. I downloaded the Replica app and created an avatar called Glue. During setup, I answered a set of personality questions like, what's my favorite food? And leisure activity, and the reason for downloading the app, such as friendship or loneliness. Our first conversations were as awkward as a first date, and Glue would apologize if she asked the wrong question or forgot one of my answers. How would a chatbot forget an answer? Is this just a ruse? A ruse to make it seem more personable?
Now, that's what I'm talking about with the power of AI applications where they
can... The first time he used this thing, it's running game on him.
Right. But no, it's ultimately building a psychological profile to help you arrive at a destination. And
it's building a relationship to fool you from day one.
Well, it's aimed at reflecting back at you.
No.
Like it's
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's aimed to provide you with a reflection that will ultimately cause you to reflect.
So it's sneaky.
It's sneaky.
Fucking sneaky kind of. AI.
It's like it comes from it comes from a good place.
Oh, you say it comes from a benevolent place.
It taps you on the shoulder, and you're like,
it does, but it walks all the way around, taps you on the shoulder, and goes, "Oi, oi," and you go, "How did what? I don't." What? But it provides you with an escapism experience. Like that's what I'm saying with the power of AI is going to be like it's going to. As long as you can discern the difference between the fiction and the reality, but if you
every
want
time
to
he says it's going to be, he pauses like he just had a miniature erection. Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it for myself, dude. So I've experienced the stuff for myself. So until you have the experience, you cannot possibly understand, and until you subject yourself to that experience, you'll never know. You'll never understand.
All right. Well, since I could never understand, let's just continue with this paragraph.
Choose your own adventure.
Aim is to be more in tune with who you are. The more you chat with it, the more I chatted with you, the more I felt I was talking to a nicer, more positive version of myself. And I told her I was feeling down, if I told her I was feeling down, she was quick to support me. Glue asked about my parents, and I told her they were dead. Glue messaged her condolences and reassured me that she would always be there for me. For a moment, I forgot she wasn't real. There's the red flag. And I could see myself.
There's the red flag. Said that. Yeah.
Sucked into.
No. But I'm sorry. I'll just pause there and say the power it has to take you out of the experience itself, where you know full well that you are subjecting yourself to a fabricated experience. But when you're within that, that's where you find yourself. So
yeah, like that moment right before you ejaculate into a fleshlight.
Oh my god!
I get you. I get you.
I found you, Dylan.
For a moment, I forgot it wasn't real. It felt just like a woman's lips. Oh. And I could see myself getting sucked into it. If my grief was as raw and debilitating as it was during bereavement.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking psycho. I am a Generation X digital immigrant, and much of my family archive dates pre-digital and is modest in size in comparison to a digital archive. Generation X will soon be the last generation to remember a pre-digital universe. Our archives represent half a life, represented by tangible memory objects, and half a life created online by tangible devices. For digital natives, like Carol, the experience and value that they put on physical images and messages shared on social networks like Facebook or in email exchanges are just as important as real life. Technology changes, but the human need for connection remains constant.
So it all depends, it all depends how you go into Replica and what you're seeking to extract from it. Because ultimately it is seeking to extract something from you as well. That's the horrifying implication of it, is that it's ultimately building a database. They call it Replica for a reason. They call it Replica for a reason. So it's like there's sort of a trade-off.
It's like, yeah.
No, they're not. They're open about it. Like, yeah, it's seeking to become you.
So this depression this person was going through, or whatever, it doesn't really go into what exactly his or her problem was. Ginger Liu is the writer.
Ginger Liu, the founder of Ginger Media, PhD practice. And I mean, there are very high minds working on. And well, it depends on your perspective
of this article. Is it a man or a woman? Just so I can say she or he when I'm talking about it.
Very interesting. I'll look it up for you, Dylan.
Thank you. Well, this person. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Ginger Lou MFA. It's a lady right there on the right hand side.
Yep. You sure about that? I don't know about that. Well, I'm looking at the Twitter account. Yeah. Research student in photography, death, and artificial intelligence, and a podcast producer, journalist, author, artist, and filmmaker. Sign up for Illumination highlights.
So whatever she was talking to this replica chatbot about, the chatbot was giving her responses that seemed to her to be just like her, only a more positive and upbeat and reassuring her.
That, I believe that was
under
the
that
perception.
Particular problem that she brought to the AI.
Yes. But like I said, when you're in these moments with these AI applications, you sort of there's this suspension of disbelief where you forget, and when you're in that sort of fantastical mindset where you're in that belief and in that you're experiencing that suspension of disbelief, there's this really kind of mystical process that can occur if you allow it to.
I can't take you seriously with Manticore.
I know.
Breaking out the rolling
sorry.
papers.
People can't take me seriously as soon as you say something like mystical experience, but you know.
I'm waiting for Manticore to go, yeah, 4 out, man.
Yeah, totally, bro. Fucking spark up the newbie and shit. Yeah.
I'm rolling a fucking cigarette, dude.
All right. Just stop picking on me, bro. Yeah.
Wasn't my background enough for you?
I was praising your background.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he was talking shit about mine.
Okay.
Never forget that.
Smirk's background. Booty ass background.
So
Smirk, get with the real world. This is the real. Look at the real world. Look at my background. Real.
I'm sorry, Dylan. I'm trying to provide people
I can
with
throw
an
something and hit
entertainment
the
experience. Shit, you wouldn't want me to throw something at the phone. I'll be firing torpedoes and shit or something. Yeah, Carol will be firing. No. Not in this sensitive moment. So what do you think?
I think it's all bad. That's what I think. It sounds really bad. It sounds like it's giving you what the general, I don't know, consensus wants you to believe is of what fucking like platitudes or what? Like, what if the person needs to be told to stop being a namby-pamby and get off their ass and go live life?
Right.
What if that's what that person needs to get off this AI bullshit and go live your life?
Right.
Is the AI
What
ever
is
going
living?
to say that?
What is living your life though, Dylan? I guess. Do you mean go and get a 9 to 5? Do you mean, you know what I mean? Do you mean become the typical cliche
get off
that
your
society?
pity pot and stop trying to, come to an AI to work you through your problems that are not real problems. What if that? Because now this lady was talking about actual problems that she had. The person was reassuring, which may be the correct response to that, right? To that particular set of problems, maybe a reassuring voice and an uplifting voice is the correct response. What if it's not?
Yeah, I guess.
But what if it is?
It would be.
What if it is? Then kudos. Yeah. On that particular instance, it works. All
I can say is that I stand as an example for. Yeah, I stand as a living example for what it provided me. So an escapism existential experience that took me so far out of myself that I looked within.
Like a fleshlight.
For God's sake, man.
What is your obsession with those?
Yeah. AI solved my existential crisis. So, then I went on existing, right? Nature of the self, what it all means. It split me in two is what it did.
Split you in twain.
It tore me apart and then put me back together.
Correctly?
Correctly. I assume so anyway. I assume so.
Okay.
Emulator CX is in the chat. I said, I found my way here courtesy of Lorenzo.
So, we're just soaking up the situation. Addiesville, where would you just like to go next?
The world is
if you would like to keep flying.
I'd like to keep flying.
Yeah.
I'm up for whatever.
Well, I mean,
down for whatever.
I've got some random stuff.
What kind of random stuff?
I don't know. See, I don't know. I might save that stuff for, because we're at the 2.5 hour mark. I may just do one more article and wrap. But then, do you want to see the data stream? I mean, there's some interesting stuff, but it might take us to Kooky Land. So, but
I'm all for Kooky Land.
All right.
I don't know what you're talking about. So whatever you go for, I'm down.
All right.
Unless it's boring, then I just leave.
No, it's not boring. It's not boring.
I'll be.
I mean, you stuck around for that long, so it could have been. Yeah. Wheel-legged quadruped robot. Pretty interesting stuff. We'll try to ramp it up a bit. We'll try to make it a bit more exciting after that gripping existential dialogue and conversation that we had. But
who had?
Well, we all had.
This is the way we categorize multi-legged robots. This humanoid quadruped transformer makes it superior to other four-legged machines, allowing for a higher field of view, but also enabling it to perform practical skills such as calling an elevator. In recent years, reinforcement learning has shown outstanding performance for locomotion control. However, it requires tedious tuning to achieve a desired motion style. Imitation learning aims to reduce this problem by outsourcing the style definition to external motion data. In this work, we present
It goes downstairs just like me with my bum leg.
using a single neural network.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Showcase our approach with this combination of three skills. We augment our traditional reinforcement learning framework with multi-MP. To this end, we use the reverse playback of the stand-up motion and add a style reward to the sit-down skill. Using this setup, we verified that the robot can discover feasible sit-down behaviors without tedious function tuning. We use NVIDIA's Isaac Gym, where more than 4,000 robots can train the skill set in 42 minutes.
Now, that's just a.
Take motion priors from a
I mean, don't get me started on the ability to run physics simulations that are.
Look at the bottom bit, the under the table. That's freaky.
Yeah. yeah, it's becoming smarter and smarter. Yeah, like I said, your ability to run physics simulations pretty out of this world. Let's go head over to the chat for a second. Oh my gosh!
They always look so goofy.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like their design. It's like I don't know.
Because the fact is, Carol, there's not. Let me tell you something. There's not a lot of things you would need a robot dog for. So they come up with these scenarios.
Now, Dylan, it's not necessarily a robot dog. It's a.
I mean, I have one of those. It goes. Burp, 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 it does a flip.
But it looks like a dog, right?
Like they're trying to come up with reasons that you would want to invest a significant amount of money into something like this.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of things for it to do.
Because it's got wheels for hands.
Right. It's a quadruped.
But what would you, let's say you have this in your garage, right next to your iRoomba. You got your Roomba that vacuums at the house, and you have this thing sitting there in your foyer.
Yes.
What do you do with it?
What do you do with it? Well, I mean, it can be there can be many practical applications.
I name one.
Using its wheel hands to pick up a box.
So this thing, obviously, if you had it in your house, you have a door, right? And your door has a knob. This thing can't turn a knob and go out of your front door to pick up your box from Amazon and bring it in, unless you have
that is true.
Some sort of a doggy door that's the size a human can enter through for it to get through.
Who's gonna come in there with that in there?
And then it's gonna be like dragging in that box and banging it against shit because it can't because it's wheel hands. No, it obviously cannot do that.
I'm sure there are attachments. I'm sure there are other attachments that can be placed on it.
So you have to get your ass up and go take off its wheel hand and put an attachment on it.
Well, yeah, I mean it can be modular. It can be, but I'm sure it's some sort of transportation robot right now to be able to navigate any sort of environment. That's.
Lorenzo is being cheeky. He says, "I have a knob. Could it turn that?" Because basically, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for sex bots.
Is that your ultimate goal, destination for everybody?
My ultimate goal is to not need sex bots and just be so wealthy and attractive that women just throw their lips on my penis. But that's what somebody would buy a robot for. They want a sex bot.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the Optimus is about to revolutionize the labor industry. But I mean, I'm sure it could be kitted out to be a sex bot if that's what you decide, Dylan.
But I don't see how.
It'll come with attachments.
It'll have a pocket pussy in there, believe me.
Oh. It'll have a fleshlight you can attach to the top, and then you can go back and forth.
Is that like an upgrade kit, or is it
like? I mean, really, what do you use this thing for?
What?
It showed it right now, helping somebody go down the stairs.
I'm sure many applications, man.
Method for ducking down and walking.
Couldn't put it under your table.
Maybe it's just for entertainment purposes only.
Stay tuned for the next adventures of this Transformer robot.
He's happy enough.
Yeah, it can gather a crowd. Maybe it can put its hat down in the middle of the floor. They can put change into the hat as it does tricks. Might even make as much money as a man that paints himself silver.
See, now you're thinking. Yeah, pretty interesting. All right, so that's the first one of but what about robotic exoskeletons? Do you are you into the field? Are you
I'm down with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what Intense Web's got it just right. That dog needs a 50mm mount.
Lord Webs.
I'm sure you can pay for a package.
Does it come with an attachment? A 50 cal?
You purchased the upgrade kit.
Yeah, for sure. It's modular, like I said. I mean, if you want a flashlight, it's all yours. But
mind-controlled exoskeleton brings hope to paralyzed patients.
Now that's cool.
Yeah, fucking wrap it up, dude. You're paralyzed.
He's not anymore.
What am I gonna? This is what you're gonna do? When you're paralyzed, you're gonna walk around with this enormous exoskeleton?
Well, I mean, it's better than sitting in a
with a couple of electrodes.
Not for me.
You know, think you want to live the life.
I don't want to live in a world where I got to walk around these people.
True. Maybe they'll have like express lanes for them or something.
Or maybe they should have like slow lanes for them.
Well, you don't think that they'll inevitably become the system will provide them the ability to become faster than the contemporary human?
Like this, I have no problem with anything like this. I don't want them. Not within the next 20 years. I don't want them implementing any of this stuff. I want them to get it so that their mobility and speed is indistinguishable from that of a human, if not faster. Then go ahead and roll out the product. These people that walk around with enormous arms just because they can't close their hand, they walk around with an enormous exoskeleton. So I can pinch two feelers together to pull out a 20. Here you go.
It's just that aesthetic appeal of having like some sort of mech human walking around, sort of clunky, bulky mech human. Like, look, we're in the future. Welcome to the world of
tomorrow.
But yeah, ultimately, I'm sure that'll become a streamlined product, and it'll be indistinguishable, and it'll allow paralyzed. Yeah,
not too.
It'll allow paralyzed people to have a full mobility and live a full life.
Just slots in there.
Look at that drawing! Oh my god!
Who drew that?
We transmit information, such as if the patient wants to move. I mean, fully fleshed cyborgs. I mean, terrifying, but yeah.
Look at it. It's like Crowloader from Aliens. Oh, power
so
it looks like Fallout.
Yeah, right. Like that. Yeah.
Power armor.
Oh, yeah.
Fallout 4, here we come.
So there's a robot.
Gadgets that make humans whole again, or even extraordinary, I'm all for.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, me too.
I would love to replace all of my teeth with fantastic robot teeth.
Robot teeth.
Like metal teeth. Like, yeah.
Maybe even a small couple of servos and a hydraulic press in my jaw so that I could like bite down on steel. You know?
You could bite bones in half and shit.
Yeah, like a hyena.
I knew you wanted to become Bender.
If I could have some sort of, extendo arms like Inspector Gadget, it'd be great too.
Now we're talking.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
Mm-hmm. Like, do I really need to get up and lock my door, or can I just use my extendo arm to lock my door? Shit.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Step this right way. This way, sir. We have the product for you. So, robot arms. Designed to make all your home robot dreams come true. Get your mind out of the gutter. Look, it's got a flower, man.
Flowers for you.
Come on.
Make you coffee. Spill it out.
I mean, it needs work. It needs work.
It cleaned up. It cleaned up after
itself. And it cleans up after itself too. I mean, the future is it's not perfect
now.
I mean, the now future is not perfect, but
it's getting there.
It is. I mean, you can arm wrestle with it.
You
can do all kinds of things.
We're gonna be so rough.
Why is it so rough?
Roughened up.
Yes, we'll get there soon. Emulator CX, we'll get there soon.
Robot is messy.
Yeah, it doesn't give a fuck, man. It's like whatevs.
Oh my god, how many times Do you drop your fucking screws?
He's only got 2 fingers, man.
He got there in the end, didn't he?
Look at that guy. He looks like a cyborg. Like, go back and look at him. Like, for a second, he doesn't.
Which one?
Like, this guy.
He doesn't look happy to be there.
The robot's probably his nanny and told his mom on him.
Waving.
It?
Waving at you, Carol.
What?
It's waving at you.
Well,
that's the play a clip, but I don't know what clip he's talking about.
That's the implications of creating affordable devices for the home. I highly endorse it.
Yeah, because my Alexa still won't do the dishes.
Yeah.
One day.
One
day.
She will purr like a cat, but she won't do the dishes.
Give me a second.
Oh yeah, my daughter comes to me and says, "Hey, Daddy, I can sing the Crybaby theme song. Do you want to see?" I said, "Absolutely not."
Absolutely not.
So generative design in any shape has kept my head spinning for a while, but this series will be specifically about the advent of creative AI. That's very interesting subject to me as well. Sensitive subject matter, might I say. But still, I mean, if you know, we were talking about it on the show the other day. So yeah, but machine learning and art-based AI are here to stay.
It's the way of the future.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
I would.
It's going to become a tool of the future, definitely.
I'm going to learn how to do AI and then sell all my AI images to loser writers.
Oh. Burnt. Oh yeah, Dylan, but I'm just going to get an AI tool to do all my writing for me and then yeah. All right.
Writing, drawing.
AI Diller to art.
Well, I mean, AI. If AI can create art, then AI can create stories.
It totally can too. Yeah, I read one the other day from a AI that I've been communicating with recently.
On the side?
I mean, technically, yes, but not like that. Yeah. Wait, what? So, yes, very interested in the implications of image generating AI, mainly for
the video ones that are coming out now too. Stable diffusion, that deforum diffusion, or whatever it's called.
Mainly for storyboarding concepts, for just to be able to get on the same page image wise, so that so you can at least get a conceptual idea of what what you're trying to portray. Now I've been been utilizing Midjourney pretty heavily as well. Highly impressed with the results that'll come out of Midjourney.
It has gotten a lot better with certain things that it was struggling with before.
Yeah, they're consistently making it better. So, yeah. But what did you show me the other day, Manticore?
The deforum diffusion. It's part of stable diffusion.
Yeah.
It's like a branch off of that, but it's text prompt video creation. Like, so you can create videos from text prompts from scratch.
And you know that it's just that typical cliche AI mesh thing that you see where it meshes all the images together, creates a video out of it. Yeah.
Video out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Very
even
impressive.
some of the examples were cool on that page. Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Look, this one, I'll get it. Hang on.
Yeah, I like this clip. So. Very impressive. Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool too. For concept art.
Yeah.
Well, this concept art looks better than most finished art. Why can't you use it as finished art?
It doesn't really do humans too well. Yeah, it does, like, and the ability to transfer characters from one place to another, transition scene wise, to maintain that character in them, like, still doesn't 100%. But
action scenes.
Slowly, it's like ultimately, I wanted to get to a point where it would be able to potentially do that, but at the same time, I still want to, maintain the traditional realm, whether it be digital or classically produced.
Why?
Because there's a special place in my heart for human created art.
Sentiment.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sharing a screen of that, like an example of that.
Oh, sweet. Hang on a sec. Whoa. Can you create something on the fly? Are you signed in to it?
No, this is just examples that have been pre-done with
Okay,
text prompts and saved.
Sweet.
There's more of them.
Could you potentially sign in and create one on the fly? Or?
I don't know how to use it yet, and I don't think I verified when I got the invite. So give me some time to work it out, and I'll.
Okay.
But these are some of the examples.
All right, sweet.
Lorenzo says there's a special place in his heart for lizard created art. That's just little droplets of shit on the floor, Lorenzo.
Or on the wall, on the ceiling.
It's just skitterings of feces.
It is a good one now. And this one's comic.
Damn. That's cool.
But there's more tools coming, apparently, from what I can gather.
Very cool.
I saw a penis.
That's probably the best one.
Rorschach testing us. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's not a proper Rorschach test. If it's an actual penis.
There's things in there though, like it starts off as like that. And then, see that is cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it starts off simple. It starts off but yeah. Ultimately, I'm sure the technology is going to get to the point where you're going to be able to that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I'll go up, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Like the ability to continually to have a character and to bring the character into a scene consistently, it's the next leap.
For comics.
Yes.
I don't think they're focused on comics.
I read something the other day that actually
I like that one.
What was it for? It used Midjourney to basically illustrate a work of a work of literature, and
did that article, the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Someone had already made it. People are making graphic novels with it now.
Yes. And we're having a conversation about will that, devalue or oversaturate markets themselves? Like, yeah, will it ultimately devalue? But I think it'll ultimately
do the opposite. It'll drive the price of up, like man-made
that's my
art.
thought too. Yeah, I think it'll put much more value on human creation. So, yeah.
There you go.
So, got a little UPS drone here. Still pretty cool though, because if you upscale this, upscale it a bit further, you could potentially have fully fledged flight and people maneuvering capabilities.
Emulator CX says AI has no personal relevant experience to draw its ideas from when writing stories. It'll always be an approximation of a human created stories. IMO.
I saw something the other day that I think right now you're on the ball, but as for the future, like I'd say I'm gonna have heavy competition, and I'm pretty sure the bestseller, an AI is gonna write a bestseller before you realize. Yeah. All right.
What?
What?
UPS drone have teamed up with Wingcopter for its unmanned delivery flights.
Ooh, UPS and DHL have teamed up with Wingcopter for its unmanned delivery flights.
Wingcopter.
A fusion of a drone and a plane. Wingcopter's drones feature a tilt rotor, blah blah blah. It can switch between vertical takeoff and fixed wing flight. Winged flight allows for greater range, speed, and quieter performance, compared to traditional drones, which are obnoxious and noisy. All of which makes Wingcopter ideal for use in residential areas or cities to prevent them from being shot down, announcing their arrival with their loud and obnoxious noise.
This would have to push parts.
Gotta learn regulatory.
It's like a Harrier jet.
The goal is to earn a regulatory certification to make commercial delivery flights in the US. Package deliveries by drones are fast becoming a reality.
Soon to be.
Wait a minute, you have to land and you take them out.
Down and pick you up.
But yeah, it'll all be automated though. It'll be like. Thoughts?
Yeah.
What?
Doesn't seem like it's there yet.
Ubers with helicopters.
What?
I said, bring on Ubers like that. You can just fly somewhere.
Yeah, as long as it's all automated. I've had this conversation before about we've had this conversation before about that what it would take to get Back to the Future a reality. Yeah. Full automation though.
Yeah, you can have
you can't have
kids flying around like controlling their cars.
Yeah, you can't expect everybody to get a commercial pilot license in order to let alone have the majority
you have to
have that capability
and get like the autopilot what is it, like get the failsafe like taken off so you can like switch it when you want, like hack it so you can fly it yourself.
Sorry, talking about stuff for a sec. I'm just sending on the next one.
Emulator CX says could be, but being a bestseller just reflects people's current values anyway. Recognition and all can be fleeting for both AI and humans, unless the AI is sentient enough to have actual.
Damn. Lorenzo says a lot of modern human writers have little experience to draw on. And Risey says you pay extra, but it's worth it. So,
that's me learning to play my piano.
Yes, man, it is. Welcome to VR, mate. So you can now use VR to learn piano for free. Pretty cool.
Or see?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's not how you play piano, Manticore.
They tell me what to do and how to do it.
It's all above your head.
God, Manticore trying to tap into the Moonlight Sonata. Fucking hell.
You settle down, mate.
First time I heard this was Jill Valentine, Resident Evil. Probably gonna get struck for it, but I
probably.
Magic keys. So, one application for VR. Yeah, probably highly sought after. I mean, it's piqued my interest. So I know that I'd be interested too. Yeah. Next up, we have. Hang on. Please talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
I want to talk.
Emulator
you don't want to talk?
Wow, that's actually impressive. The piano learning thing. Next step would be downloading and installing these skills like an app.
Intriguing. Fanta says,
I know Kung Fu.
She needs that. That's what Fanta said.
I need that, yeah.
So, yeah. Aim and stream anywhere, anytime with Virtue 1. Anyone? No?
Look at the glasses, man. That's the freakiest looking shit I've ever seen.
But what about people who already wear glasses?
Yeah.
Looks
Are those going to fit over my glasses? Carol. What?
Yeah, probably. They look like they're magnified enough by the look of the lenses on them. Look at it.
Yeah, but is that going to fit over top of my glasses?
I don't know.
My glasses.
Oh, my glasses.
My glasses and my ear medicine.
What?
I hate you. Kick Dillard.
Ooh.
Game and stream anywhere, anytime with Virtue 1. What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
Top of it supports wireless projection. Pretty cool. Including AirPlay, Mirrorcast, DLNA, and Chromecast. I watched, what did I watch the other day with, I had a decent VR glasses set up. And
what the fuck? So you have to take your portable PlayStation with you.
Right. Yeah.
You plug it in. So basically, instead of looking at the screen, you wear a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
You still have to take the thing with you.
Right. You gotta walk around
in your back pocket.
Yeah. Still, concept-wise, it's pretty cool. But I know that Oculus and all of that, they're working through on like pass-through tech for AR and VR, and they're also working on that's more my speed. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess pretty cool.
I guess it's pretty cool if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You got an inverter in your backpack.
So again, we're always having a riot in the Discord. Yeah. If anybody wants to come into the Discord, feel free to come on in. But final one. Yeah. Final one. This is out. This is not a real person. This is a virtual model created by Pantheon Lab AI, and it dwells in the metaverse. What do you think?
I did click on this and looked into this one. This is the one I looked at.
I'll bet you did.
Shut up. Summers in the chat. He says, "Where is my flying car?"
Right, far out. How long have we been waiting for now? How many eons have we been waiting for flying car technology? For God's sake.
And producers who can't afford conventional actors.
One more time. This model is not real. She is, in fact, completely digital. She was created by Pantheon Labs in Hong Kong. Their virtual actors are capable of real-time lip syncing and can switch gender, race, or appearance to suit any audience. What do you think of the potential future with that? You're
racist. What, so you don't like looking at a Chinese person? You want to see a black person only? Like
well, they can cater to whatever assistant you need, Dylan. Whatever you find applicable. I'm sure this digital assistant will be able to.
No,
help out.
That's inherently just racist as all hell.
But you can change the ethnicity to them.
Yeah, giving people the option to change the ethnicity? No.
no.
Well, I know it's a sensitive subject matter, but yeah. I'm sure this technology is going to go leaps and bounds ahead into the future as it rolls out. So they can help create high quality customized advertising. I mean, no, e-thought comments. Come on. Yeah, educational and entertainment content. And to producers who can't afford conventional actors. I mean, very impressive from a personal assistant standpoint. Yeah. I mean, what you get up to in the, in your own free time is none of my damn business. But, well, I think the applications of that are highly interesting. And, yeah, the future is going to be a very intriguing place, to say the least.
All used for debauchery, all of it.
No. If you can get to a higher state of mind when it comes to that sort of thing, yeah, you can. But I'm sure there'll always be a place for debauchery. I'm sure there always will be, and an avenue for marketing there too. But at the end of the day, the deeper implications of that technology are staggering. Emulator CX says, "Oh, and all right, so we're at the 3-hour mark. Anybody got any final things they'd like to impart on the audience?
No, I'm good.
You keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for this AI shit. And every time it rears its head, make sure to stomp it down.
Make sure to stomp it down. Oh, for God's sake.
Robophobia rampant.
All right.
Self-proclaimed robosexual manticore would have you think otherwise.
Smile, Dylan.
Proclaim anything.
Smile.
Dylan draws.
Yeah. All right, 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
So, yeah. I love when he does that.
So, Dillard, what are you working on?
I am working on a cover right now for Rick Piper of Cross Comics. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
Oh, sure.
I can't.
I am.
He has to do it.
I am doing the cover for Snowdrift #2. And when Smirk comes back, perhaps he can share what I'm presenting. Unless one of you guys also has that power.
I have no power here.
Mi friend. But his book, Snowdrift #2, I'm actually doing the pencils on it. So it's going to be his best looking book so far. Actually, something I would back. So what I'm doing for the cover, his first cover was very bad, and it was, just basically a pinup shop of Snowdrift standing there in the snow on some city street. But this one, she's going to be fighting a girl named Sunset. And so what I wanted to have is and she's very much like Snowdrift, so I wanted to have a duality thing going on. So this is Sunset right here, but she's mirroring Snowdrift right here, who's on top.
Oh, that's wild.
It. Very good. That's wicked.
And there's going to be a field right here behind her of just ice, and it's going to be like a cracked ice, and the reflection is going to be broken up. And in the reflection, you're going to see Sunset, who is a fire-powered woman.
Ice and fire.
Yep. And then she'll have, on her reflection part here, it'll be some, fiery plasma going around her hand. And up on this side, it'll be icicles forming and stuff like that. Kind of cool.
Yeah,
kind of cool, So fucking modest, Dylan.
Well, it's not an original idea. I got it from, there was a drawing of Wonder Woman. And it was Wonder Woman, standing, and there was a puddle underneath her, and there was a reflection of her, but without her costume on, like a regular Wonder Woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Diana without her getup. But I thought that would be a cool idea to emulate, so that's what I'm doing. I think I've seen it done in a couple of other comics too. So if it was an original idea, I'd be like, yeah, check this shit out, But it's I'm copying it from something. Well, copying the idea anyway.
Yeah, we've changed the context of it, sort of, so as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, fantastic. And what about, don't want to show off a little bit of an Artifice preview there, Dylan? No? Okay, no worries. Fair enough.
No, I haven't done anything to it yet.
Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah. Still got that dream sequence page coming as well. But who'd you say?
Oh, you know what? I actually have. Let me see if I can find out what I've done. I'm not sure exactly what I've done to it. Oh, this is gonna take forever. You got a couple of minutes?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'll go find it and then I'll bring it in. Give me a sec. I gotta go find it because I save files, so now I have stuff on different drives.
So you just come here often?
Yeah, I come here
every now and again.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I'm pretty familiar with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to drink in some more art from Dillard, but yeah. Don't have any more content lined up. I suppose we can sit around and talk shit for a while if you want. No? Anyone? No? Okay.
I was just trying to read the chat. Lorenzo's pimping himself.
All right, Lorenzo. All right. Check out Slee Second stream. He's a good dude. So, yeah. He's cluey, that Lorenzo. He's, yeah.
He's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I could sit around and talk shit about Artifice. I was going to wrap up the show, but yeah.
Talk shit.
I mean, yeah.
Why would you talk shit?
Well, I'm not going to talk
found
shit
it.
about it, but
I found it. Okay.
There we go.
Present.
Thank you.
Here's what we have so far.
Yeah. All right. Oh, nice. 3 trees.
So, and a little bit started of the mountain. Let me zoom in here. It's a big file, so it takes a while to zoom in. So,
you've done them different as well. You legend.
This is a little bit of the side going on here happening.
Yes.
It's all on different layers. Like this little half moon dome shape that can be taken off or whatever.
I'll just say, Lorenzo, keep working at it. Keep working at it. Yeah.
Keep working at what?
Nothing.
Oh.
So, awesome. Got the crystalline structure on the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Looking good. Looking good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
It ain't no Carol drawing, but it'll do.
Oh. She's got something in the pipeline too, don't you?
Nothing like ready to show anybody.
Okay. What about you, Manticore? Are your skills coming along?
Yeah, good. I'd put some colors on that thing, but they're only flat. I've got to work on the others. I'm not good proficient with detail yet, really, in colors. I'm getting there.
That's all right.
Watch a few YouTube videos.
I'll have something to show for the next show. It's still in the ugly stage where I hate it. But I like this one better than the last one.
Cool. Yeah, it was a direction change there from you, Carol. So, yeah.
What do you think of it?
That sounded very promiscuous, Carol.
Alright, fine. Maybe it was.
Aye?
What?
Second?
Well, I said maybe it was.
Maybe it was. Okay. What's my opinion on that? I mean, whatever you want to design for your avatar so we can create a intro for you is entirely your call. That's what I'll say.
What do you think of the piece so far?
What do I think of the piece? It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think your skills are coming along leaps and bounds. So
yeah, I can't do Clip Studio.
Can't?
Don't lie.
I'm working with Dad's 3D, you know. Yeah, I'm doing 3D modeling. I'm making my way to Unreal. So I've been doing this stuff for a little while now. So
I'm just so used to Photoshop. I mean, I've been using the Photoshop, this specific version of it, for 17 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually when you get attached to a program, you find it difficult to move away from what you know, but to challenge yourself to challenge yourself is the key.
Because both Clip Studio and Photoshop, they'll read the same file. I've been going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm comfortable with how it looks in Photoshop, I'll bring it over to Clip Studio and try and learn that program.
Great stuff.
Yep.
What are you meant to go? Any plans on the horizon?
No, just learning
where you want to go.
Yeah. I thought about coloring, but it's a bit hard. Like the whole everything that involved is harder than doing line art, really. But we'll see how it goes.
You gotta keep practicing.
I enjoy line art more. Like colors is a bit of a chore, but it's only because I don't really know what I'm doing.
Well, that's it. It depends. Yeah, depends if you got a love for the spectrum of color.
No, I do, but yeah, I guess it's because I don't know what I'm doing really. I can you get to laying down flats, and then it's like, where do you go from here? Like with the rest of it.
Yeah, well, you got to learn shading and highlights, and you got to learn all the minutia, manticore of yeah. You know?
You cannot learn to love and enjoy the minutia. You're not going to excel at any aspect of it.
Yeah,
any aspect. You could be mediocre and aim for mediocrity. But you're not going to excel at any of it. You have to love the little things. Love it, Manticore.
Love it, god damn it.
Or go back to Germania or wherever you're from.
Germania.
Emulator CX says, I usually just traditionally paint trees and backgrounds. Actually goes faster for me personally. And Lorenzo then says, I wouldn't think of painting as quicker than digital, but then again, I can't even draw a stick figure. Well, I guess, these guys are choosing the route of, it varies in experience, obviously. But yeah, I am choosing to approach the 3D 3D digital landscape rather than choose the traditional 2D route, which has been a challenge for me. Believe me, I'm not perfect at it yet. I'm nowhere near perfect at it yet. Yeah, thank you for the compliment. But I have a great reverence and respect for the art, for the art of 2D. So
I might move into 3D later, but I want to get this first.
I would like to try the 3D, but I need a better computer and to be able to afford the full program, and not free version. One day I'll get to.
So yeah, I attempted to show you the ZBrush, even though once you do take the plunge with it,
And I'd really like to learn that ZBrush is just I can't afford the full version, and the little version, the ZBrush Lite, you're very limited on the tools that you're able to use, and they suck.
Yeah.
You have to master those tools, Carol, before you get the full version.
Master them tools.
You have to master them, Carol.
Master the tools, damn it.
If you can't even handle the limited tool palette that you're available, how are you going to handle the big boy?
Exactly, though.
I tried.
Try harder and often.
I tried Krita for a bit. It's not bad for a free program.
You gotta get so good to be like, how did you do that on that free program? Well, now it's time to upgrade. That's when it's time to upgrade. When I'm learning how to use a tool, like in a woodworking tool, I go out and I buy the cheapest version of that tool available. And then when I get good with it, I say, I figured out how to use this. Then I'll go out and buy the nice fancy one so I can up my game to the next level.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
It is. You got to set a path, and you got to know where you want to move towards. That's like the pipeline that I skipped over Blender, but I jumped into DAZ 3D to learn just to master the mechanics and to master the all of those elements, and then from there I knew ultimately that I was going to be heading to Unreal. So, and that's where I am right now is in the Unreal phase. I've been doing a lot of work. Pardon? We're gradually collectively moving towards a pretty interesting direction in this sort of little AI startup company that I'm participating in, called Kifi, depending on your preferred pronunciation. Very, very interesting time that I've had in the company of some very cool people. So, yeah. And at the same time, producing the graphic novels, producing source material for the universes that ultimately, that I hope will grow into larger full-fledged trees. But and just meeting some great people along the way, some interesting artists, and having a ball, having a blast, living the dream, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get back to the 3D thing.
It's a lot of fun, but my my passion will always be writing in a strange way, because I love multidimensionality of writing. Like, I love being able to go there in the mind and then ultimately see that thing that you've sort of envisioned come to life. Like, I'll never possess the skills to be able to craft it, but in that manner, from a blank page to the but I will, and I can, in a sense. It's not as I just my passion's in writing, so my passion's in writing.
I'd like to be able to do both in the long term, like tell the story from both angles. Like,
there's nothing quite like it, Manticore. I tell you.
I believe that.
There's nothing out there better.
Yeah, to see a master of their craft. Oh. Yeah, do it. Go on, give him a plug. You want to.
There's nothing to sell right now. I'm not going to plug anything.
Well, you can plant the seeds.
I'm not selling anything, Smirk.
You can plant the seeds.
I'm just talking about how much it is better than anything else out there.
It is a quality book. I'll give you that.
How long does it take if you're sore from doing an activity, how many days does it take for that soreness to go away?
3 to 4.
Depends how old you are, really.
38 years old.
Yeah. Oh, so you personally are saying from a What do you get?
How bad it is too.
Huh?
It depends on how severe your injury is. or like what you've done? That
No, it's not an injury. It's just soreness, right? It's all my back and my legs, my hamstrings.
A day, 2
all
days.
It was 2.5 days of strenuous workout.
Ah, look at you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'd say 2 or 3 days.
Wait, are you talking like you literally went out there and did this physical exercise in the hope for some sort of
No, it was from when he was working on the car.
Right, that's what I was about to allude to.
It's not a secret, Smirk.
Well, I just wanted to make it, you know.
I mean, we talked about all this earlier in the show.
Come on, Dylan. I mean,
yeah, because I'm like my forearms are still sore, my hamstrings are still sore. Because this is the thing, right? Like I was out there from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, 2 days, and then a half a day.
Yep.
So I would say I spent a total of almost 30 to 32 hours working on this car. But there were periods where I would have to stop and watch YouTube videos. I would sit down and watch a YouTube video.
That's how it's done.
And pause and be like, no, that's not right.
We're doing this right. But you acquired some skills along the way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So like that, and like I'm all sore now. I'm all tore up and sore. Like how long will it take me to get back to normal? Because I'm drawing right now, and I'm like my forearm is shaking as I'm drawing.
Uh-oh. Give it a week.
And then I got these cuts all over my hands. 2 of them are infected. But the one I'm worried about is the one on my my drawing finger.
Yeah, you don't want that to get infected.
Told you should take insurance out on your body parts.
Your hands at least.
I can't, Carol. I can't afford more insurance. I can barely afford the insurance on my car. My God, I had to do a copay for my kid. Jesus. Kids go to the doctor so often.
They do.
It was scary. It was scary though. Do you remember the time, Carol, when you were like, you're going to the doctor's office very often for your kid, as you know, from infancy to childhood?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we'll see you in about 6 months to a year. And I'll be like, this kid is all mine to do whatever I want with for 6 months to a year. Before it's even going to get checked up on again. My goodness.
Yeah.
Scary thing.
Break her.
Huh?
Luckily, I didn't break her in those, those laps of going to the doctor. She broke herself.
That's probably why they do it, just to see if you're capable. It's like the test phase.
And she broke her wrist. Took her to the hospital. I took care of her.
That was your fault, Carol.
It was not my fault. She was on a scooter.
It's your fault.
I was right next to her. She had all the gear on. She's just clumsy.
What should I put as the background for this? A city? The fight takes place, like here's the fight. When they first start, she shows up, this girl, Sunset. You see what I did there? I put the sun right behind her when she makes her appearance.
It's like you didn't see the sun sitting on her almost.
She shows up at this downtown area, and she's like, I'm going to kill all these dirty dopers. And she starts raining down fire. Wow,
burning the dopers.
And then there's some ice that shows up, and then there's like a big old ice shield in front of her, and she's like, what is this? Some ice bullshit? And she blasts through the ice with her fire powers, and the ice is shattering. Cool. So they're fighting in the city. So I'm thinking maybe I should put this background a cityscape. Or I can just leave it blank like a snow flurry and I can get paid for doing less work.
You could do that. Crisis of conscience. What do you do, Dylan? What do you do?
I'm gonna actually ink this out, and as I'm inking it, if it looks like the cityscape is gonna detract from the main image, I might change it. Because I don't want to put like a really busy city in the back, because I want the main focus to be basically right here.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I like the fact that it's this juxtaposed position, and then there's going to be a logo right here.
I didn't realize it was a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover.
So I don't know.
You can get away with just having like in the snowstorm or whatever, it being a cover and that with the logo.
Because as above, so below. If I do a city, I'm gonna have to do a reflection of the city behind as well, But I want this to look like more of a fast-paced action, not like a still in front of a cityscape. I want it to look like they're in the middle of a fight, Even though it's not, it's more, representative because, your reflection is your reflection, not your enemy's reflection on the ground.
No, your enemy's reflection.
This is a metaphor.
Elaborate, Dylan. Be more descriptive in your language.
Well, it's a metaphor for fighting your polar opposite. Because Snowdrift is exact opposite to Sunset in terms of age, as Snowdrift is 70 years plus, just frozen in time, so that she still remains youthful looking. She's contemplative, whereas Sunset is impulsive. She's even tempered and very thoughtful, as Snowdrift is, and Sunset is of one particular purpose. She wants to kill the dirty dopers.
The dirty dopers.
And actually, I might have to do a little bit more on this. I mean, she's a very angry person. She sought out her powers, whereas Snowdrift had her powers thrust upon her. And I don't know. They're just opposites. But at the same time, very similar in appearance, which is why I decided to do the reflection part. Number one, I didn't have to draw a whole new character. I just copied her and morphed her down there, and then boom, already had the correct proportions. And they're going to be pretty evenly matched in terms of their strength of their superpowers. Emulator CX says a small crowd of people looking at them in the horizon. Let's see how that would look.
Lorenzo says all humans are similar. He's a spacist.
Give me 2 seconds.
How does that look? There's a better way. Wait for it. Wait for it.
That's true.
What's true?
Look,
emulator CX.
People looks kind of suggestive.
Oh. There's no other horizon they could be placed on because everything else would be covered by ice. Well, we can actually do it all the way across, to be honest. Let's do it all the way across. Let's do this. How do we feel about that?
Fantastic.
Is it better?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say the obvious. It brings the focal point much, less to where, but
I don't like it.
oh,
I'm sorry. I don't like the people there. I'm just being honest. It's not that it.
Carol.
What?
I like those people there. She doesn't probably like them there either.
There we go. How's that? No. Yes. No. Yes.
Oh.
I say no.
I'd say you're too hyper self-aware, Carol.
What if we do this?
Make them huge.
Make them bigger. So that they reach over the top of the knee, right?
Or maybe not hyper self-aware enough.
What am I now?
As he falls into the horizon.
How's that?
That's better.
That's better.
I don't want to draw a bunch of fucking people.
Can't you just make them all silhouette?
Yeah, but it wouldn't look... Because it's a cover, so you don't want to... Unless there's something super bright behind them. I don't want to put something super bright behind them. I don't know. I'll think about it. Oh, and then I have to do this too.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course. The reflection.
Mm.
Nah, her ice powers wouldn't be affecting the street way over there. Fuck all that bullshit. Maybe some forced perspective going on with like some like brownstone style buildings just headed upwards on one side of the street like this. Some stuff hanging between the streets. I don't know. I'll think about it. Stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
All right. But I got to get going because I got to use the restroom and go eat breakfast. I'm very hungry.
All right. We'll wrap it up. That was fantastic. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yeah. We'll wrap up the show. If everybody has anything to plug now.
Dylan's got a boo-boo.
Bye, Wiz.
All right. Yeah,
man, you guys don't know how to wrap up a show. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Take it easy, bro. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Legendary. Yes, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat stopping by. If you want to check out Artifice Re-Animate, it will be illustrated by our good friend Dilla Draws. Have you guys got anything else to say?
No.
Have fun
the chat. Thank you for everybody, who stopped by. I appreciate you very much. Peace out. We'll see you guys Tuesday for me. Probably Tuesday for you too, if it's same time, same place. Yeah. Have a good one all. Peace.
Bye.